Oh man. We're broadcasting live, everyone can hear us.
Okay.
Um yeah, so people if anyone's watching us just yet, we're not Annie's just setting up garage and we're just getting ready for the show. We're gonna be talking for real in just a couple minutes.
Okay. Shall we do our microphone
Yeah.
setup thing?
So we'll do initial clap and then we'll do how do we do this? I always forget.
Don't we just do clap to start, or we do on three and
Oh
three
yeah,
to
we do
start
on clap
recording?
to start and then we do double clap just to make sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right. The
I think
same.
we've
All
done
right.
this enough that we should know this shit by
So,
now.
so on three,
Okay,
start
yeah.
recording. All right.
One. Yeah, okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
We're now
Okay.
starting recording. Okay, now we're gonna clap on 3.
Okay,
All right. Are you
one.
ready?
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Close, whatever. I can figure it out later. Oh, man. Thanks again, man, Andy. Thanks again for, waking up at, what time did you actually get up this morning?
I was up at 7.
Really? Oh, man. I mean, I woke up at 7, too, but I thought I was just crazy for even getting up that early.
Well, dude, I got it. That's my new schedule. Gotta
I
be
know.
open, early to bed, early rise,
Like I,
motherfucking bullshit.
like I said, I'm glad that you fully at least have the weekends off, so it's, if you have to wake up that early in the morning on a weekend, at least it's tolerable, because then you guys get to make out for an hour before you have to roll out of bed.
It's like this has been a 3-day weekend. It's been super nice. Super nice.
Yeah.
So. Alright, pal, are we ready to go?
Super low energy podcast.
Hey, I'm gonna get some coffee in a few minutes here once Foley gets into gear, so I'll be a little better.
Oh, okay. Do you want to wait a minute or two before we start actual recording?
Actually, let me go to the bathroom real quick. Now
Yeah,
that now that we're broadcasting, and now that we're
yeah, keep the
listening to Rock Band.
microphone, keep that shit wide
Yeah.
open. I want to hear every little
Every
squirt and
single
scream and
gurgle.
drop.
Yeah,
Go
I'll be
ahead.
right back, my friend.
I had the time of my life. I don't know why I'm suddenly having flashbacks to what the hell's the name of that movie? Dirty Dancing? For some reason, the alliteration, the double D's, got me thinking about Double Dare. Um, if only some episodes of Double Dare had ended with a small child running into the whipped cream slathered arms of his father and hoisting him up in the air. Yeah. And then they had sex. The father of the child. Apologies to anyone who's actually watching us. This is Annie. We're gonna start recording in just a minute. Annie just went off to. She's just. I think she's either hitting the bathroom very quickly or getting changed. She'll be back in a second. We're gonna start recording here for real in just a moment. Do we have the Q&A shit open? I think we do. Not that we need it. I mean, you guys are welcome to watch us passingly if you want. God knows you should not feel obligated to interact with us. What else? Off all my extraneous windows. Annie's vacuuming now, I guess. Welcome to the Boy Howdy Podcast, where you get to watch a fat, hairy man blather while his friend just takes a shit and cleans house, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Annie gets up super early in the morning for work, and so she decided that she wanted to have a 9 a.m. podcast today because she didn't want to sleep in, which is crazy because you'd think, why not take advantage? It's a 3-day weekend. It's the last day of a 3-day weekend. Sleep until fucking noon. Take some sleeping pills if that's what it takes to make you sleep in. Take advantage. I sleep for 12 hours. It's a poor man's vacation right there. Hot shower and 12 hours sleep. Shit. Closest thing to a vacation I get. Then again, I can't complain about not getting vacation because my quote-unquote work is so easy. I'm just sitting here in a basement drawing all the time.
I just had to brush my teeth.
Did you brush your teeth? Wait, I've never seen that dress before. Where'd you get that dress?
I've had it for a couple of years now. In fact, what happened was it was when I worked in the sales floor, and I saw a customer with this dress, and I thought it was really cute. And I told Foley, I was like, Foley, go ask her where she got her dress.
Aww.
I did, and I went and bought it.
That's very nice. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
nice summery dress too. You actually look civilized.
Yeah.
Unlike me, I'm just I'm wearing a dress too.
Well, yeah, your summer frock.
But
Sure.
when you're fat enough, it no longer becomes a dress; it just becomes a muumuu. And so by a dress, I mean I just take a little Barbie dress and duct tape it to my chest, and it's like this weird sexual, like King
That
Kong
just
size
makes
fetish
me.
thing.
That just makes me think of the episode of The Simpsons where Homer wears a muumuu.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I'm
Good
just sitting there,
shit.
like instead of typing on the computer with my fingers, I'm just kind of like brushing like a mop stick against the keys. Too bother to
Exactly.
lean over. Oh
Mm.
my god, man! I got allergies again too. So if I sound like a cocaine addict, oh.
Poor
I took
sniffly
medication
guy.
an hour ago, but it hasn't kicked in yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you not take like Claritin or anything like that?
Yeah,
Or
that's
something
right. It
regular?
takes a clarity. It takes a while to
Do you
kick
take
in.
it regularly, my friend? Like daily? During
Semi,
allergy
depending on how
season?
bad my sniffles are. Oh,
Okay.
we should talk about putting down pets on this podcast too. I forgot I did that this week.
Lovely conversation.
Man, we did find the nicest goddamn lady to put down Pearl. I mean, it was a
Oh,
thing. But it's not really
good.
podcast quality conversation, but man.
It's maybe don't bring things down that much,
But
Bill.
I'm just saying, if for some reason the animals don't live forever, talk to Gilbert. He'll help you out.
All right.
He'll make that process that what we learned is legal the in the killing animals industry. The term is transitioning,
Oh.
not murdering your pets. But yeah, so but it was cool. Yeah, no. One of the things about I've never really wanted to own a pet since I was a little kid. After accidentally squashing my ferret in half,
Yeah.
was I never thought I always loved it. I always wanted to have a pet for my own, but I knew I could never handle the process of like having the responsibility to put it down. And like this lady was cool enough that I was like, you know what? If I had access to a lady like this, like putting down a pet wouldn't be so bad. And it was really,
Yeah.
actually really nice. So.
Yeah.
That's not really podcast talk, but that's just me just talking.
That's the hardest part of having a pet is letting go of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like there's a neighbor of ours on the street who has this beautiful Grand Pyrenees mix named Angel.
Oh.
Angel is the sweetest dog, but they went to the dog park and Angel got attacked by like a chihuahua or whatever.
Not even a pit bull, but
I know, but in avoiding the chihuahua, Angel basically rolled her ankle and snapped the tendons on one of her legs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's one of those situations where it's like, so do you pay $3,000 to fix your dog's tendons, or
Yeah.
And that's always the hardest part of having an animal.
Shot it.
That's correct.
Well, this lady. Well, it's funny because so this lady, she works for a veterinary clinic, but she when she's not at the veterinary clinic, she spends a lot of her time off, doing these home euthanasia things, visiting people's houses and putting their pets to sleep. And because she's doing this in Portland, she gets there's a lot of rural farmland right outside of town, and so she actually gets a lot of requests from people who need help putting down their farm animals.
Yeah.
And so she's learned the hard way that it's very hard to put down a pig with drugs because they metabolize drugs so quickly. Like you can feed them almost any amount of poison and they're not going to die. You have to shoot those fucking things.
Oh, really?
That's the only way to kill a pig is to shoot it in the back of the fucking head.
Oof.
And so yeah, she's talked about yeah. So she had a whole bunch of interesting stories. We hung out with her all night. It was really cool. But yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
What else?
All right, friend, you ready to do this thing?
Yeah, let's actually have a podcast.
All right.
Even though we've already been recording for 10 minutes already. So,
All right. Okay, pals. All right, here you go.
Oh.
Good morning. Hey, everybody. Good morning.
Wait. That's going to be impossible to edit. Okay.
Hey, guys, pals, friends, etc. Welcome to the Boy Hattie podcast. I'm Annie.
I'm Bill. Welcome to our house of talking.
Yeah, we're here to chat with you about things that interest us and maybe interest you.
Let's go blah, 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 blah.
We don't really care if they interest you. We're going to talk about them anyway.
Come on, we make you some coffee. We talk about you, about the weather.
That's right. Foley's about to bring me some coffee and a Danish, so settle in. We're going to have a morning.
And you know what? My non-wife is not going to do anything. I don't have a wife. I just have a pillow that I've made stiff and my own.
Oh, nope, stop.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Bill, how was your week, my friend?
I do have that Muppet. He's clean. I
Okay,
haven't had
Bill,
sex with it too many times.
I'm going to put a formal moratorium on you talking
On fuck
about
puppets.
making love to your puppet. All right.
Um, to be fair, I have to keep that puppet clean because one of our friends, his son loves that puppet. So even when I'm masturbating in my room, I have to cover the puppet's eyes because I don't even want like residual like psychic sexual energy to transfer
So
from me to this child.
on the 4th of July, Foley and I were wandering around, and we actually went to Toys R Us. Haven't been to Toys R Us in a long, long time.
Oh yeah,
And
sorry. Okay, yeah.
they sell just clothing for whatnots now.
Really? Do they
Yeah.
sell the whatnots?
Yeah, they do actually. Yeah. They
So
have,
so So yeah, so for reference, the Whatnots is it the same thing? I had like kind of the
yeah,
blank Muppet kit that you can kind of build your own Muppet with.
more
Man,
or
that's
less.
cool. They still sell those,
It's
huh?
like it's more like a starter Muppet. So yeah, the Whatnots. FAO Schwartz had this thing where you could build a custom Muppet
Yeah.
called a Whatnot, and Toys R Us has an FAO Schwartz toy line. And one of the things they do is you can get a pack where it's like you'll get a Muppet body, and like then you have eyes you can swap out, noses you can swap out, and clothing and stuff. So yeah, then they sell accessories. So I'm just saying,
Man,
Bill,
that's
you can
great.
get some.
I thought that line died. I didn't know they. Well, the other thing is that you can dress up your Muppet any way you like. And for a while,
Mhm.
like FAO Schwartz did have like different bits of clothing. I didn't realize Toys R Us actually sold those clothes too.
Mhm.
So this is our way of if you guys are wanting to buy Annie and Bill toys for Christmas, you get
Please
Annie a
don't.
shitload of Lego. You buy Bill a Muppet
Okay.
clothing.
There we go. There we go.
No, yeah, our friend from we know a guy and his family who they teach English around the world. And they have a 5-year-old son who he was born in Portland, but he's been raised in Shanghai, Tanzania, and Moscow. And they're
Wow.
coming back for a couple weeks later on this week. And their son Leo, he's super fucking cute, super suave, super nice, super smart, super cute. And yeah, he loves that Whatnot puppet I have. He loves that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an officially licensed Jim Henson Muppet. And well, the term whatnot comes from the Jim Henson Company. That's what they named the whatnots in Muppet terminology are just kind of like the blank, generic, like colored felt Muppets that kind of indistinct shape that they could just like stick anything onto and it becomes a different kind of character just depending on what kind of eyes and shit you put on there. So
Mhm.
they just turned that into a kit that you can buy. And it's a full life size Muppet with like little stick arms and all that shit. So it's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome.
How did we end up talking? So anyway,
Oh no, yeah,
so wait,
because
what was I can't remember how we even got here.
yeah, so I went to Toys R Us for the first time the other day. Toys R Us is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like I'd forgotten how much of a nightmare Toys R Us is because it's just
What happened?
no, it's just like it's like any specialty store where it's just kind of an overwhelming cacophony of that thing.
Yeah.
You know? And it was just like, damn, it was overwhelming.
Well,
But
concentrated. Yeah.
but while we were there, yeah, we looked at the poster bin because Foley's new job, she now has an office. And it's this ridiculous office that no one really sees except for her. So I was like, let's get you a kitty cat poster. And we were looking at the posters in the poster bin. And sure enough, Bill, there was your Minecraft print.
Which I had no idea that was an actual retail product. So
Yeah.
this poster came about like. Well, it was the last time, not when we went to PAX last year, but like the 2 years before that. It must have been like 3 years now that I decided just to. I think it was the company that makes Minecraft, the Mohang. It was like their first PAX since the game came out and had become really big, and so I just like designed a little little poster piece of fan art just to give to those guys. And I can't remember what happened, but like the company that like sells most of their licensed products, Jinx.com. They found out about the poster, and so they actually bought the rights to the poster from me to like sell as a licensed Minecraft poster. And I guess this is a known poster. I'd never seen copies of this for sale in the wild, and for the longest time they didn't sell copies of it on the website. So I thought maybe they just bought the rights to my poster and then just kind of sat on the rights. Maybe they didn't want like competition for Minecraft fan art posters or something like that. But yeah, then Andy out of the blue just finds this Minecraft poster in the poster bin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
was
I
a
thought
very
it was pretty
surreal
cool.
moment, my friend.
Well, it's funny. Then you mentioned it on Twitter, and then other people on Twitter started saying, "Oh yeah, I've seen that poster all over the place," and
Yeah.
other people sending me pics too. And I was like, "Oh shit, I've never seen that poster outside of the one copy I made for myself and the one copy I made for Notch."
Yeah.
And that was it. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
And let's see what else we see there. What's crazy is that they have like 2 lines of Ninja Turtle stuff. They have the TV show stuff, and then they're starting to have the movie stuff for the Michael Bay
Oh,
movie.
the Michael Bay one, yeah.
But then they had like a box of a retro toy that was the party van, that was like the pizza party van, which
Was it like the old cartoony pizza van?
Yeah, it was like
so
the
was
one.
it like some Michael Bay-ified, like, realistic pizza van with, like...
No, they basically reissued the party van from my youth. Yeah, it was a kooky moment.
How much was it?
$35, something like that.
Did you see that they put out, like, a DVD box set of all the Ninja Turtles, like, the cartoon, like, the whole series, in a pizza van?
Yeah. Brian, a friend of the podcast, Brian, was telling me he has that.
That is pretty fucking cool.
It's adorable.
So, but they only had the pizza van? They didn't have any of the, like, retro figures?
I didn't look too closely. Mostly I was distracted by that because that was such an iconic, like, that thing in of itself was such an iconic
yeah. I could see that
toy.
being kind of like a siren's call of toy bullshit.
Exactly.
Man, you know what? Ninja Turtles was like the last kind of toy I was into as a kid before I was like, I'm too old to be into kids. Because I remember like when Ninja Turtles toys first came out. So that's one thing. Even though I'm a decent chunk older than you, I can appreciate like the lust for Ninja Turtles toys. What the hell are you eating?
Cheese Danish.
Oh yeah. Okay, Jonathan Santiago says, I went and got my pizza and came back to Mudron talking about boinking his Muppet. Oh, I don't know if... I'm sorry. He mentioned pizza. I thought he was talking about Ninja Turtles. I don't know why. I should not be reading that comment. Because that's too gross for us to talk about as me fucking a puppet. But so what else? So wait, why did you go to Toys R Us?
It was the 4th of July, and Foley,
It's just that's the thing?
Well, no, we had the day off together, and Foley's very sweet.
It's all the fashion to go to Toys R Us on Independence Day.
Foley is very sweet and indulgent, and took me to go look at their Lego sets. There was this one Lego set in particular that she wanted me to get that was this hop set from The Hobbit. It's like this really rad tree. And she was like, you need this tree for your small town, for my western town. So she went out to get me this ridiculous tree for me to put together and chill out.
So what the hell? Is that like the Tree of Lothlorien or something?
It's fucking no.
Some kind of Hobbit elven shit.
It's something from the Desolation of Smog, and it came with wargs, little wargs.
Aw. Are you gonna use those in your western town?
See, I don't know. I don't know if giant animals breaks the canon of my fantasy animal town, but I don't know.
Yeah, especially if all your citizens are animals, unless that's like maybe some of those are some of the animals that people have turned into animals and never turned back.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm still considering it. I never do anything casually with Benton. So.
Well, it's kind of like the old Disney comics where you'd have like Goofy would be walking Pluto, but they're both dogs, so it's kind of confusing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do ride horses and shit, so it's like, but I don't have any horse people. So. Yeah.
In Disney?
No, in Benton, in my fantasy.
I was gonna say in Benton, yeah, because Disney have Clarabelle the cow and Horace the horse and shit like that.
Yes.
So yeah, that's even extra confusing.
Bitch, I know my Disney people from like motherfucker.
You have legitimate world building questions you have to answer.
Exactly.
if you want Benton to thrive.
But what's great, so she took me to Toys R Us and we noodled around and ran some other errands, and then yesterday, Foley is so sweet. She took me down to Canby, Oregon, which is an interesting town because it's an old, it's clearly an old manufacturing town. So when you drive down the river, it's lined with all these beautiful abandoned factories that look like shooter level design 101. There's just like tons of them and multi-layer and multi-level and beautiful. I want to go back with my camera. But also in Canby is Bricks and Minifigs, the prestigious Lego reseller, and went down there. It was fucking ridiculous. It's 5,000 square feet of just fucking Lego. They had box stuff. They had a bunch of like minifigs for sale. They had you could just get parts, like random parts, and they sold assembled out of box kits and. They had birthday parties.
Cheaper than the box kits? Because you think that would either be they could either charge extra for saying, hey, we spent all this time and money building this kit, or we've kind of taken some of the fun out of it because we have built this.
Well, because it's a resale establishment, so there's some stuff that was like they had some recent stuff that was pretty much on par with how much it would cost box, like maybe a little bit less. But then they had a lot of stuff that was like out of print, like older Lego sets that are no longer available.
It was like Lego Goodwill.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was very much so oriented towards like both kids and collectors. It was very, very cute.
Were there any cool sets that they were selling that were already built?
Oh yeah, they had a shit ton of really cool sets. And they had a display window where if you built something really cool, they'd put it on display. And It was really adorable because they had one tier that was like by 10 to 13-year-olds, and then they had like this giant bat cave where they did not put the person's age, but the implication was not so much 12 or 13.
But that was like built from scratch. It wasn't like from a kid or anything.
No, yeah, there was a lot of crazy bullshit.
But they weren't selling that stuff. It was just on display.
Yeah, they had a display of some things, and then they had other things for sale. But it was really charming.
Did they have the Monster Hunter Mansion or the Parisian restaurant?
They had the Parisian restaurant. Yeah.
I should have given you like a list of things to look up to see what the price. I could always call these guys up and say, hey, how much is your Parisian restaurant?
I was impressed with their pricing. Like they were either on level with or a little lower than MSRP. So more power to you, bricks and minifigs.
Was the Parisian restaurant built?
No, it's in a box.
Man.
They had a giant vignette, and it may have been in there.
Well, this kind of falls into what I was going to talk about. Part of my the stuff I was doing this week. Right after we recorded last week, Annie had mentioned that. On the show last week, Annie had mentioned that she had filled up her Amazon wish list with a whole bunch of Lego kits. And so, as soon as we were done recording last week, while I was waiting for Annie to send me her. We recorded in person last week. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. As soon as Annie left last week, after we recorded, I looked at Annie's Amazon wish list, and man, Annie, you do have some pretty cool fucking sets on there. And one of them is this, it's called the Monster Hunter Mansion, I think. And old spooky, like Halloween themed. It's just like 3-story mansion. Filled with like vampires and shit like that. But the coolest thing isn't that it's even like spooky vampire shit, but like it's all dilapidated and stuff.
Yeah,
there's like crooked elements
really cool.
And kind of like it's really rare to see kind of like a Lego set that like is supposed to look like ancient bullshit.
Yeah.
And like it has like these slat windows falling off the hinges and all this cool stuff. And man, that is a cool fucking set. And the only thing I don't care much for it is the color scheme. It has like green bricks.
Yeah.
Like red bricks or something even more kind of like older. Kind of old school and gothic looking would even be more badass. But
yeah, my plan was if I got that set was to replace the colored.
Yeah, and I was like, I was thinking about that last week, and I was like, where the hell would you get like a shitload of cheap extra bricks? And then you mentioned that you found like this secondhand Lego store, and I'm like, oh my god, if I bought that Lego kit, and they're just like, well, this is the other thing too. It's not that I was just fawning over the Lego kits that you had on your Amazon wish list, but I went to the Lego store online and found out that because I was just like looking at some of the kits that you have on your wish list, so I was researching them on the official Lego site. Is that they have for free downloads, you can download PDFs of all the instructions for these sites and stuff like that, and also just the list of all the parts that are included in the set.
Yeah.
So even if I really could do that if I just downloaded the instructions in the piece list for that Lego Mansion set. I'm assuming if I just took that list to this bricks and minifigure store, they could probably just say, oh yeah, we have a big bucket of red bricks over here. Just go, like. Feel free to fill out your list. I'm like, oh man, and then you can like buy extra bricks if you want to customize stuff or to like change the instructions and like make up your own shit. Like, oh man, I totally built this fantasy up in my head of like suddenly becoming like this Lego building entrepreneur badass.
Yeah, Bill, join me down my rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that I'll find a lot of sets that are almost right but not quite. I had to go to the doctor this week, and the doctor told me to chill out. So when I went to go get my medicine from Fred Meyer's, I also got this cabin set that I've been eyeballing for a while to have as part of my Western town. But there's some elements that aren't quite right, and there's some colors that aren't quite right. So I'm like staring at it, going, "Well, I need to get this color piece for this part, that color
Yeah.
piece for that part." And yeah, it's like it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole. And yesterday when I was at this Bricks and Minifigs place, it's really charming, and it was great to see. There were this like for every kid, really enthusiastic kid, there were like two adults.
Oh, of course,
Down,
yeah.
like humorless expression on their face as they try to find exactly.
What little kid is going to want to go to the used Lego store?
Well, dude, it's not just used. They have a lot of first quality stuff. And also,
I know, but still.
when I was there, I actually there was this mom who had brought her son, and the son wanted some very particular guns for his guys, and the mom was trying to help him find the right thing. And I was like, what was cute is that they had a lot of the third-party stuff, too, because there are a lot of people who make things that are compatible with Lego that are not Lego. And
like,
they had
like unlicensed Lego stuff.
yeah, so it's like you can get like,
Aftermarket kits.
pretty much, yeah. They had a whole display of just aftermarket World War II tanks, cannons, and all this other stuff.
Lots of people will make like the dioramas, like especially like battlefield stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it was cute as hell. There was also a birthday party going on while I was there. And all these kids playing Lego video games and
That is super goddamn cool. So this is in Canby, Oregon, the Bricks and Minifigure store.
Yeah, it's apparently they have a franchise. There are a few other. There's a smaller location in Beaverton, but I wanted to go to this one in Canby because this was
we're gonna go. Might as well go home and demo. Yeah.
31st birthday. Yeah, fully pointed out that for my 31st birthday, I can have a party of Bricks and Minifigs, huh?
Woo!
Yeah.
So you said you bought like 5 kits this week. What all did you end up getting?
I brought that Lord of the Rings kit. That's a tree. I got that cabin. I got the last Lone Ranger kit I did not have, which was the Native American teepee. Which now that I have cultists, the appropriative Native cultists in Benton, I feel less weird about getting. Okay. What else did I get? Oh, I got this giant Chima set that I'm going to convert into stable for Benton when I'm done. See, whenever I buy these kits and I have no intention of actually using, like, quote-unquote using the kits, I still like to put them together according to the instructions because it's very soothing.
Yeah, like, no, it's a nice process. Yeah.
And do all that. And, so I'm in the middle of building this ridiculous giant crocodile lair.
It's also weird, kind of like building a large Lego kit. It's kind of like it's kind of like entering the headspace of like this perfect world that you're kind of building, and like it's kind of nice to think like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to live in a world that is this like kind of cartoony and clean and kind of like, yeah, I can see there's a lot of psychological benefit to like just building like these colorful little bricks in this little colorful little world.
It's very so orderly. Fun. Like I got one, like some of these, like the kits, the Chima sets are largely oriented towards children, so they'll come all the parts will be in multiple numbered boxes or bags. So it'll say first use bag 1.
See, I wish more sets did that because a lot of sets don't even organize their bricks that well.
Yeah. Well, so I got a set that was more for adults, and it's just like, here are a bunch of parts, sort them, and then figure it out. But I really like that actually because it's very meditative for me to
sorting out the bricks.
All the parts.
Yeah.
Sort them by color and size and all this stuff. And I spent 2 hours on Wednesday just putting together that dumb Lego cabin, and it was so meditative and soothing. I wish this shit wasn't so expensive because it is just very calming just to sit.
Well, at least you did find a venue for like instead of like, because I know a lot of people will hunt very large kits just for specific very rare pieces those kits contain. So at least if you found a secondhand store, so at least if there's like very specific small pieces that you're looking for, at least you don't necessarily feel obligated to have to spend money just to get like, if there's some kind of like special tiling you want for something like that, you could probably find it at this Bricks and Minifigure store. But
also there's a thing called eBay.
No, that's true too. But the prices might be inflated there too, and you got people bidding on stuff, and I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
I also discovered that there is a whole Lego only like trading infrastructure, like I think it's on bricklink.com, where it's welcome, by the way, to the inevitable part of Boy Howdy where we just talk about Lego for 30 minutes.
I apologize. Yeah, we were both really kind of falling down this well.
So I think it's bricklink.com, where they have this whole portal that's a catalog of every single Lego part that's ever existed. So it's actually really helpful for reference. But then when you go into the catalog, you can click into, well, these many are for sale, and then you go into this whole really basic portal, which is kind of the honor system where you pledge to buy these parts, and then you just get into contact with the vendor and finish up the deal. But it's kind of brilliant because then on this catalog you have access to a system that you can use to find these weird parts, and usually for moderate prices. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I fell down the rabbit hole. I sent my first email to Lego customer service. It's happening, my friend.
Did you mention that last week? What, like, weren't you missing a part or something?
Oh, no.
You're requesting kits.
Yeah, I was like, hey, when are the new Chima sets coming out? Because I know they're available in the Netherlands, so why aren't they available in America yet? When are they going to be in America? Like, dumb shit like that.
Annie, have you ever thought about submitting, actually submitting ideas for Lego builds to the Lego company? Because, I mean, that's the thing they do.
They have the whole ideas program from which the
yeah, I mean that's
thing.
Yeah, that's how they do some of this license stuff, like the Ghostbusters and Back to the Future kits I have are both sprung from that.
Well, every time I've looked on that because you can just do a search at other.
Your cat's being a dipshit.
Bailey loves the printer, and every time she walks on it and accidentally presses the buttons and turns it on, she's more and more captivated by it.
If you have to go over and turn it off, go ahead.
Well, the thing is it was off. She turned it on with her fat body. Anyway. So every time someone has submitted a Western set, Lego, and it's gotten as far as Lego reviewing it.
Oh, it gets shot down?
Well, Lego will say this is too similar to other programs we have in process, so it's been rejected.
Do they have, like, Beast People Wild West hounds, though?
That's right, we gotta get this specific.
You've got a very specific thing going on here.
Well, Bill, considering there have been all of, 6 sets that have made it through the final process, and those sets have been Ghostbusters, the Curiosity, and, I'm just saying, Doctor Who gets a lot of votes. My obscure furry Western town will not get all the way.
I'm just saying, at the very least, you should actually more thoroughly document Benton and put it online, because I'd love to see more pictures of what's going on in that little town.
I'm planning on it. That's why I have my Tumblr, soberbeast.tumblr.com. That's where
I totally forgot about that. I typed it down in the show notes so I can post a link. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, I did this week also build the little Lego critter that you bought for me last week.
Oh yeah, your Mixel?
Yeah, my little Mixel. Yeah, he's got flames shooting out of his back. It's very cute. Thank you so much for that. That was super goddamn cute.
You're welcome, friend.
Oh, man.
So anyway, yeah, had a lot of fun at Bricks and Mini Fakes. So that's what I was doing this week while I was putting together Lego. I got Foley Sniper Elite 3 because she loves shooting. She likes the technical aspects of shooting in real life.
And she's also been putting up with all your Lego shit?
She's very indulgent of me. So Foley is fascinating. I'm the sort of person where, as longtime listeners of the podcast know, I love presents and I indulge myself with alarming frequency, and I'm always broke because I'm buying myself or others bullshit that we do not need. But Foley...
It's retail therapy, come on.
Foley's the sort of person who, if she goes to the store to buy underwear, she'll put underwear on her cart, and then from the underwear section to the cashier, she'll talk herself out of needing underwear, and then hand it back to the cashier to put away. She does this all the time. So I always kind of bully her into indulging herself. And so I got her the Sniper Elite game because it's pretty silly and very goofy, but
this game is fucked up.
So this game is ridiculous. It's mostly known for the fact that if you score a sweet kill, it'll do this ridiculous 3D cam where you see the bullet actually entering the body and disrupting organs and all this other crazy garbage, shattering bones. But it's also it can be a hardcore sniper sim to the point where you have to worry about distance and bullet drop off and wind and sounds and all this garbage. It's it can be. There are 5 difficulty settings in this game, and but she loves this stuff, and it's fascinating actually because I was playing Valiant Hearts. I beat Valiant Hearts this week, and to go from Valiant Hearts to Sniper Elite made me realize that Sniper Elite really is sort of more or less a puzzle game in its structure more than anything else, because you have this environment, you have to figure out where all of your weak points are, and then methodically figure out the best process to, get to wherever you want to be. And it's been interesting.
Is there even much of a story in that game?
You are a cool sniper guy drafted by the British intelligence service to kill Nazis in
Well, this is an
Africa.
interesting thing. I had no idea that it was a World War II game, which actually kind of makes it more interesting. So instead of using super futuristic high-tech sniper equipment, you're using old school. Like yeah,
Do you not remember that the last Sniper Elite game, Sniper Elite 2, had DLC where you could shoot Hitler? It was
Oh,
a whole
did it?
thing. Yeah,
We
you
probably
can
talked
shoot
about it on the
Hitler.
podcast, but I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they've all
Yeah.
been World War II sims.
So how many people's brains have she blown out from the inside out with like the X-ray
Oh
vision on? Have you been
God.
watching her play this?
Well, I'll be sitting there building Lego, and she'll go, Annie, look, 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 and I'll look up, and
I blew this fucker's brains out.
I've seen a lot of viscera this week, my friend. I gotta tell you, but it makes me
God,
happy.
so what do you think of the
Well,
end
I
of
just
Valiant
got a nut
Hearts?
shot, by the way. She's playing it right now as we broadcast. I really enjoyed Valiant Hearts. Bill, I don't know if you've played it anymore. You gotta stop playing it because all of your issues with it, they do not get any better. But I found it
I
to
know.
be
I got up to. I just beat the first chapter last night.
okay. I really enjoyed the hell out of Valiant Hearts. I liked the art direction. I liked the simple story to it. I liked all the puzzle design. I loved the music and the art direction.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it. I really did.
You know, last night I realized why. Like, yeah, there's 4 chapters in the game, right?
Correct.
And it's not like the game is super fucking long. I realized last night why it's taken me this long just to even beat the first chapter is what happens is every time there's a new, not even each chapter of the game is broken up into kind of like sub chapters where you're controlling different characters and stuff, and each sub chapter has a different suite of facts that pop up in the game that tell you about the history of World War One and like different the parts of the like this is like the history of gas masks and gas warfare
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And what happens is every time one of those pops up, it's interesting enough that it has me going to Wikipedia because I've got my laptop right in front of me while I'm playing. And so
Sure.
like last night, like thing about gas masks popped up, and they were like, oh yeah, no, like before like they started actually distributing real gas masks, soldiers would take urine-soaked cloths and press them to their face, and that was a close.
I did not know that, by the way.
Me neither, and that was like really, and so I googled it, and so I spent as much time on fucking Wikipedia than I do actually playing the fucking game, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to learn about World War One, but yeah, no, it's really easy to get distracted if you're Bill Mutter and playing that game. Yeah.
No, I really did enjoy that game, and it's the sort of thing where if you like adventure games, if you like that sort of puzzle games, if you enjoyed the cave but you wish it had a little more narrative beat on its it should be meat on its bones.
Yeah.
Woof. But also what I liked about it is that I kind of struggled with the cave because I think we talked about this. Puzzles were a little too non-linear for me in that you could approach them. You could be solving multiple puzzles simultaneously, which meant that sometimes I was a little confused that an element of one puzzle was an element of another. I really like the kind of old school linear nature of the puzzles in Valiant Hearts.
Yeah.
At no point do you have to worry about multiple puzzles simultaneously. You kind of have this purity of vision, and you can just get shit done, which I really enjoyed.
Well, it's very linear in that you'll have most of the game is going from left to right.
Yeah.
And just there's stealth parts, there's some slightly actiony little parts. But yeah, it's very obvious when okay, this is a puzzle part of the game too.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, there's not going to be that much confusion. Like I said, I'm still not a big fan of the whole puzzle thing to begin with, where it's not so much like doing what logistically makes sense, but as much as just trying to figure out what the designer had in mind when they designed the puzzle. But it's not terrible. It's just, but that's endemic to the whole puzzle, the adventure game.
I really disagree. I feel like if you have the puzzle solving, I'm just saying I've played that poorly designed puzzle games, and this is not one of them.
It's not terrible. It's not consistently terribly designed or anything like that. And in fact, I can get through 75% of the game just not even thinking that hard, but just go here, make the dog go grab that, bring it back here, do this and that. But there's consistently, I can't go more than 15 minutes in the game when I'm not, reading up Wikipedia rather than not playing the game. But I can't go more than 15 minutes without something happening where I'm like, really, I was supposed to assume that this thing was going to go here and that was going to do that if I brought this over here. And so I've been playing the whole game with a guide in front of me.
See,
And I'm not always referencing the guide, but the moment something like that happens, I'm like, it's not worth me just wasting my time sitting here trying to figure out where this random object is supposed to uh, interact with something in the environment. I'll just look it up on the on the walkthrough. I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't think I would have figured that out anyway. So I'm more interested in the environment and the character. Not
Oh,
even the
sure.
character a little goofy, but I'm more interested in just the atmosphere
Yeah.
and just playing the game. I'm not too worried about like, oh, I wasn't challenged enough by the puzzles, and
Oh
I should have
yeah.
spent more time
Well, see,
doing
that's
them.
the thing. I don't feel like the puzzles. I had no. There was only one time in the whole game where I struggled with a puzzle, and it turns out there was a bug. So it
Yeah.
was. I really felt that it was not a difficult puzzle game as much as it was just. It was one of those games, though. The only problem with games that link emotions and tone so firmly to gameplay, and there's one moment in what was it called? Oh, Heavy Rain that suffered for this for me as well.
Hmm.
Is that then whenever you have any sort of failure around that moment, it totally saps all of the emotional power of
Yeah,
that.
that's yeah.
So that happened. There's a time. There's a the healer in the game. There's this kind of Parappa the Rapper sort of rhythm sort of thing you do to heal people,
Oh, see, I haven't
and
even seen that yet.
there are moments in the game that are very emotionally fraught that
Hmm.
involve this heal mechanic that if you fail you have to start over, and it's just like, game, I bless you, but dear
Yeah.
Lord.
The game. I'm not playing you because you're a game. I'm playing you just because I like your atmosphere and I just want to live in this world for a while. But I'm not like
Well, see,
yeah.
I enjoy the puzzle elements and I enjoy all that, but it's like,
Well, it's nice to have interactive stuff, but at the same time, when everyone's different threshold for this kind of stuff is going to be
yeah,
different. But
it's
for
like
me,
it's like
I just want to see what happens next.
to me, I wish that this
And
sort of narrative puzzle game were as normalized as shooters. Like that's how much I enjoy this kind of
yeah.
mechanic. So it's just a different perspective. But yeah, I really enjoyed Valiant Hearts. I recommend that if you are a person who likes the puzzly games, to give it a shot.
There was a part where towards the end of the first chapter, like for most of the first part of the game, you're just like running around like in these battlefields and stuff like that. But there was a part where I wound up in this French village, bombed, not even French village, but a French city with like its own cathedral and everything like that. That was all
Mm-hmm.
bombed out and destroyed and stuff like that. And the amount of detail they had to put into,
Yeah.
it's the game's based off the Rayman engine, so everything's just kind of like flat pieces of artwork, just layered on top of each other, almost kind of like a set in a play, but just like what they do with just limitations of that engine
Yeah.
in terms of like how things move and stuff is still really impressive. Like some really greats, just and the music's good and
Yeah. I really enjoy and respect the hell out of that
characters
game.
are very goddamn cute too.
They left it open very clearly for a fifth chapter DLC.
Oh really?
Oh my god damn it, people. Don't do this to
It's
me.
Ubisoft. What do you expect?
This is
Wasn't
true.
there a thing that came out this week where they were like, "Well, everyone expects DLC now," and people got really pissed off because, like, fuck you guys. We're barely tolerating DLC, but it's not like we're just like clamoring for you to cut more stuff out of these games to sell us back as DLC.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, the aspect in Valiant Hearts is something that the game doesn't need.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of it literally the last moment of the game is foreshadowing of DLC. It's like,
Would you be playing as the stupid Otto von Bismarck evil bad guy or something like that?
No.
That's the one thing I do not care for in the game is the like.
Yeah, we had talked about it. It's like it's weird
Yeah.
to have this game that's set in this very real moment in time to have this cartoonish weird villain.
Yeah, it's like you're suddenly fighting Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget or something like that. Like,
Exactly.
this game's already fucked up enough. Like the environment and the circumstances are already fucked up. Yeah, you don't need like a cartoon villain on top of everything else. But yeah, no, it's still good. For $15, it's worth the $15.
Absolutely.
Just for the environment. And like I said, just even as a history lesson, video game as entertaining history lesson is a rare thing. But this is a game that does it really, really well. Like I said, I'm learning a lot about World War One. That
And I even knew a lot about World War One, and even I learned some things.
Yeah.
So, Bill, tell me about Star Trek 3000.
Oh, Star Trek 3000. This is you're not gonna want to hear about this one. I'm not talk about it for too long. But I was watching again. I was still watching the Star Trek Next Generation Season 6 Blu-ray set that just came out this week, and there was a part in commentary for one of the episodes where a couple of the people who worked on the show were talking to Ronald D. Moore, who was a writer on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same guy who he went off to eventually, he created the new Battlestar Galactica show.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember how this came up. They were asking him if they ever brought Star Trek back to TV, should it be a reboot, or should it be, still take place within the Star Trek universe as depicted in the TV shows? And he was talking about, from a writer's perspective, the best possible thing would be to bring back Star Trek as a reboot, and not even like the J.J. Abrams reboot where they're still kind of adhering to the old timeline, but now it's new cast and everything like that. But just a fresh reboot where you could have it be Klingons, but maybe the Klingons are like this, like you could mix and match all the different pieces of the Star Trek mythos and get rid of stuff you don't like and invent whole new stuff that you think is more interesting, that was never part of Star Trek in the first place.
Sure.
And but then he was also talking about how, at the same time, though, you don't want to do that. Like, a reboot would be the best for the writer, but it would be the most insulting to the viewers, because you don't want to negate everything that's ever happened in Star Trek. You still want to have all these episodes, the hundreds of hours of TV that people want still. That should still mean something. Like, you shouldn't just throw that out the window just because, from a writing perspective, it's easier just to reinvent the whole world from whole cloth.
Right.
And just poking around about Star Trek stuff online, I found out that Bryan Singer, the guy who wrote and directed the X-Men movies, I had heard that he had pitched to Paramount Studios his idea for bringing back Star Trek about a decade ago, and for some reason it never took off or anything like that. And he had the interesting idea of, if you were to make up a new Star Trek show, you would have it take place 500 years after Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
And so it still takes place in that continuity, but is far enough ahead in the future. It would take place in the year 3000, because Star Trek: Next Generation and the original Star Trek all take place 500 years from now. This new series would take place 1,000 years from now, and that extra 500 years would be enough time to essentially kind of reinvent the Star Trek universe while still keeping continuity. And you could there was all this stuff about how the Vulcans and the Romulans are suddenly reunited, and they're doing all this stuff, and the Federation is falling apart and stuff. And I just that's all a whole bunch of Star Trek thoughts. And like I said, I know you don't care about Star Trek, but that's
interesting though.
I was thinking a lot in the back of my head this week about that. Regardless of the specifics of Bryan Singer's pitch aside, that would be an interesting way to bring back an old show like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was he had some interesting ideas, like chief engineer for the ship on his Star Trek reboot would be who's the guy from Hellboy who's the ghost who lives in a suit?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
It's almost the same thing like this, where one of the crew members would just be a gas. Just a gaseous alien, but in order to run around on the ship and that stuff, he lives inside a suit that he's still just a cloud of gas, but it'd still be this people-shaped person, talking to people and stuff like that. So there's some interesting ideas, but yeah, just and even specifically Star Trek aside, I just thought it was interesting to think about, just when you're trying to resurrect old stories.
Yeah.
The idea of either you reboot it, or you how do you bring it back while still paying tribute to what made that thing,
right?
While still updating and making it interesting, and I don't know,
it's a sticky wicket. Yeah, how do you iterate in a franchise that's inviting to new people while not disrespecting the old people, while not being necessarily beholden to the existing franchise?
Yeah, because the ultimate thing, I would love to see somebody create a Star Trek series that Annie Maloney could get into. I don't know what that Star Trek series would be.
I enjoyed Next Generation, and I enjoyed the part of Deep Space Nine I watched. It's just
I know, but if someone created a Star Trek.
They made a Star Trek I kind of enjoyed. It was called the J.J. Abrams movies that no one else liked.
Man, did you see? There's some movie coming out where it's Chris Pine and what's-his-face from Inglourious Basterds are playing the smooth-talking villains.
What's his face from Inglourious Basterds? That's a pretty robust.
There's only 14 guys in that movie. The bad guy from Inglourious Basterds?
Oh, what's his butt?
Christoph Waltz.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. So I've seen
that.
pictures of both of those guys in sharp suits with their hair slicked back. That also seems like a funny a duo of bad guys to have in your movie with Christoph Waltz and Chris Pine.
Yeah,
I guess they're playing womanizing weird guy. I don't know. I can't remember what the hell movie.
I'm into it.
Like that, but yeah. So I know you're a big fan of sexy Chris Pine mode. Or Chris Pine and his hey, how you doing?
Chris Pine's fine.
I just love that there's a James T. Kirk out there that you think is cute.
He's hunky.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
He's maximum hunky. Not to say that I really am emotionally attached to those Star Trek movies, but I enjoyed them just fine.
No one is, but yeah.
Those movies were far more my kind of Star Trek than any Star Trek, and I know the reason why is because they're Star Wars. So there you go. What have I been up to this week?
Did you hear about what supposedly Star Wars 7, the rumor that came out a couple weeks ago that supposedly it was John Boyega, the black guy from Attack the Block, and the gist is he's supposed to be like an imperial officer. He's supposed to be some bad guy who's crash landed on Tatooine. And so all the stuff they've been shooting out in the Abu Dhabi desert is him crash lands on Tatooine, and then he somehow runs into like Han Solo's daughter, who's also now a princess, played by whatever the main chickie in the new movie is, and like they're supposed to be like the two main leads, and it's supposed to be this romantic thing where even though he like this John Boyega guy, even though he's an imperial bad guy, he's the new Han Solo, and he's all super like, fuck you, princess, you're so stupid. And she's like, I hate your face, but then they're like, I love you. You're beautiful.
I really love the way you pitch this stuff, my friend.
Is that not like worthy of that? Is that not as good as the way I pitched it? Is that not as fun as Desk Set?
Exactly equal to in every way. So speaking of movies, the only movie I watched two movies this week we're talking about. I watched this really mediocre Western on Netflix called Sweetwater.
Yeah.
That came out in 2013. It has Jason Isaacs and January Jones. And
oh really? That's terrible. She's a terrible actress.
Well, the thing is that it kind of the whole point of this movie is that she's basically Abigail from Red Dead Redemption, but allowed to have the agency of John Marston.
Really?
Because it's basically she and her husband. She's married to this Hispanic guy. And she and her husband have this farm, and they're out in the middle of nowhere, except they live right next to Jason Isaacs and his crazy cult. And crazy cult kills her husband. And then these various other things go bad, and then she fucking murders everyone.
So what's mediocre about it? That sounds like it should actually be pretty awesome.
It's very much so a B movie. Like, very much so a B movie. It has some neat visuals, but it's not quite as pretty or clever as it thinks it is.
It's got Ed Harris.
Ed Harris is the sheriff.
He says, according to Wikipedia, he says, hooey. Those are the first lines of the movie.
Yes, they are. It is not a very good movie, I'm saying. But,
man.
I don't know, it kind of, January Jones did a damn fine job, because really, the whole thing is that she's kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a retiring wallflower or something?
No, she's like a stalwart, like she's kind of the John Marston type, where she's a stoic.
That's really weird, because on Mad Men, she's so much just so like, man, I just want to punch her face in Mad Men, where she's just so like, even prim and proper and just,
She's kind of a stoic badass. She was a former prostitute, and but the thing is that she's still in the community in which she was a prostitute. So everyone has all these expectations of her, and she's trying to start her life over with her husband until everything goes wrong. It wasn't very good, but I keep thinking about it. So, I don't know. Sweetwater. I don't know. This is a good week for Vengeance, if you felt like in the mood for it. So it was a satisfying movie. If you want to watch a movie where a lady...
Revenge is sweet, which is just kind of shows you the caliber of movie you're kind of doing.
Exactly. If you want to see a movie where a wronged woman shoots a man up his asshole while he's masturbating, watch Sweetwater. I'm just saying. So, the other movie I watched this week was They Came Together, which is the new David Wayne, Michael Showalter joint. So it's more or less the same crew who did Wet Hot American Summer. It's Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler in a send-up of romantic comedies. And, damn, what I love about David Wayne and Michael Showalter is they're not afraid to just make dumb jokes and just fucking double down on their dumb jokes. Like, if you have seen Wet Hot American Summer and find it funny, then you will enjoy They Came Together. I know that is a pretty loaded caveat, because it's a sort of humor where you're either really into it or really
I still have never seen Wet Hot American Summer. I know everyone in the world's supposed to be in that movie and it's supposed to be fucking hilarious, but for some reason I've never managed to catch it yet.
I don't know if it's gonna be up your alley. It's kind
Yeah.
of a weird, dumb movie.
I
And then
like
the
Annie.
other,
I love toys. I love toys and
but
dumb movies.
that's different. That is not a movie that's trying to consciously be dumb. That is a
Yeah,
movie that was trying to do
no,
something and
that is a
landed it
movie that
dumb.
is so trying to consciously be dumb. It's kind of autistically retarded. Like it's a mess of. It's not even like oh dumb. It's like brain damaged. Yeah,
But it's not. It wasn't trying to be brain damage. It was going for a thing.
I
Whereas
don't
they
know.
came
Have you seen
together.
Toys lately? it's it's got just John Williams driving a bumper car in a wheat field.
I'm not disagreeing, Bill, but you cannot tell me that the
No,
people
no, no.
who paid for that
Oh,
were
this is
like.
not a battle of which movie is weirder, but yeah, I can appreciate that there's different levels of art, like intentionally stupidity in movies. Yeah.
But this is more in the Step Brothers vein of dumb humor than it is in the Toys
That's
vein of
good
dumb
too. I
humor. Is
like
my
that.
point. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's fucking Amy Poehler is a national treasure, and Paul Rudd is so great. I love that Paul Rudd is fundamentally unchanged from Clueless era. Really,
He was in Clueless?
he played the older brother in Clueless. Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
Wasn't it like
But
15 years ago?
it was more than 15 years ago, my friend. Here,
Clueless is more than 15 years old.
oh, easily, Bill. It was not made in the year 2000.
Clueless?
Clueless. How
I
old
could have
is
sworn that was like a
Clueless?
1999 joint at the most.
1995, motherfucker. Clueless is
Really?
almost 20 years old.
Holy shit.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Anyway,
Clueless is almost old
Clueless.
enough to rent a car.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, they came together. It was really dumb, and I enjoyed it very much. It was right up my alley.
Hmm.
Bill, tell me about Mario Goody's book.
Oh, so the Pix and Love Company. It's this French video game book publisher. They just put out a new book about the history of Mario, and I these guys aside from also publishing books, they also like create like little video game like little ephemera and stuff, like little collectibles and stuff. And for a while, they were manufacturing little tiny video game arcade cabinets with like
Mm-hmm.
actual like light lit up screens and like little controllers that actually worked. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually pre-ordered it turns out like 4 years ago. I had pre-ordered a like tiny little light up Donkey Kong cabinet and a tiny little light up Pac-Man cabinet. And for
Yeah.
some reason, those never actually came out, so I still had like credit with this company. And so yeah, just like last week, they announced that they had they were coming out with this like history of Mario book. And so I emailed them to say, hey, I still got credit because I like ordered these little light up arcade cabinets that you never sent. Could I just have credit from those, from those cabinets that were never sent applied to this Mario book? They never got back to me, but out of the blue, they just decided to send me these books for free, I guess to make up for the fact that I credit these guys. And so and so the special edition of this History of Mario book, which is a textbook about like just the history of Mario and how it was created and the history of like the creation of all the different Mario games. But the special edition of this book also comes with a secondary book called the Mario Goodies book, which is
Hmm.
a full color coffee like little like soft cover coffee table book that is just a shitload of pictures of licensed Mario stuff from all
Hmm.
around the world, and it's great. It just has all kinds of pictures. Like there's a whole complete collection of I guess in Japan in 2005. I guess all Pepsi bottles in Japan for a year had like little pixelated sculptures of Super Mario Brothers characters from the original Super Mario Brothers game.
Oh,
And
really?
so, like, yeah, if you bought a 20 ounce bottle of soda, it would just have like Lakitu or Bowser on top, like a little statue on top of the bottle cap, and all this other shit like hats and candy and all kinds of
Sure.
candy shit. But that's very cute.
That's
But yeah,
adorable.
that's now become like required bathroom reading in our house.
Oh, speaking
But
of, when I was at Toys R Us, Bill, you need to look up World of Nintendo Microland.
oh
At,
no, what's this?
at Toys R Us, I almost bought one for you. They
Oh
have
no.
these little Microland toys where they have all these little Nintendo figures, but more to the point, they have like they're like little Mario, like little Super Mario levels.
Oh my god, that's very cute.
You
Oh,
could
you know
get
what?
like,
It would be cute, but it would even be cuter if they were actually like pixelated like the old 8-bit art.
yeah,
Because that's
that'd be
one
hard
of
to
the things.
manufacture.
I guess so. I guess in Japan, this is another similar thing where they actually did come out with sets of Legos, but instead of Legos, Legos have different size pieces. This was like little Japanese plastic sets of just every piece was just like a different colored cube, and so it was a
Hmm.
perfect thing to make pixel art with. And so like there's a whole like back in Japan back in the day, there was a whole line of like essentially Japanese Lego sets where you can create like a whole 8-bit Nintendo diorama of Super Mario Brothers, like, you know.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Like, and so that's pretty fucking cool too. But that got me, you know, speaking of Lego stuff. But yeah, so yeah, that was just an interesting book. I just
Bill, tell me about 1776 and Jaws.
Yeah, what did you do on the 4th proper? You just went to Toys R Us? Because this is what I did on the 4th.
I showed Foley Down with Love, which she likes, so we're still gonna get married.
Yeah. That's Obi-Wan and who?
It's what's her butt? I can't remember her name. Fucking what's her butt?
It's not Reese Witherspoon, is it?
Who is it, Foley? It's Renee Zellweger. That's who it is.
Oh, Chicago and Obi-Wan.
It's it's like a fucking Doris Day, Rock Hudson movie.
You like that movie, right?
I fucking love Down with Love because I grew up on those dumb movies.
The Doris Day movies, right?
The dumb double down humor of it. And I forgot the climax of that movie and how ridiculous it is. And I love that it's that kind of period. I don't know how that movie got made because it's riffing on 50-year-old tropes that don't exist anymore. Like an overwrought score that's like almost like cartoonish and overwrought acting.
I'm a sucker for that kind of artifice.
There's some fucking phenomenal costuming in that movie that's just astonishing. I love that movie. But we watched that, and then I went over to a friend's house and watched fireworks from there. My friend Carla has this condo that's on the 4th floor of this building, and it's got a perfect view of downtown Portland. So we were able to see
is this Carla's
fireworks. Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
So we got to see all sorts of fireworks, and I showed the group The Americanization of Emily, which is a terrible party movie. Party movie. I chose poorly.
So you totally killed the evening? Did you actually sit through the whole thing, or after like 20 minutes in where you're like, oh my god, this is a mistake?
Well, no, it's a movie of soliloquies, and soliloquies do not make for good party fare. That's not true. I once showed a crew The Lion in Winter at a party, and that worked out. It depends on the crew. Yeah. I
guess it depends on who you're showing that stuff to.
Exactly. Yeah. It depends on your audience.
Okay.
I did not pitch that movie to the right audience. But still, it was a good time. We had fun. And those are good folks, so I had a good time. I went looking for my copy of 1776 to show it to Foley. That was the first DVD I ever bought, was a copy of 1776 from Fry's.
It's totally possible that I might have that copy here somewhere.
Yeah, my copy is missing, so...
Yeah, because I think I do have a DVD copy of 1776 in the house, and I don't think I've ever bought one, so it's either yours or Dylan's.
I would believe that it is mine, because mine is...
that's what I'm saying. Next time I see you, I'll hand it over. Because I own a rip of it and also, like, the iTunes copy of it. So, I just watched 1776, and everyone on the 4th was, like, flipping out on Twitter. They were live tweeting watching Jaws. I don't know what happened this year of all years. Everyone was suddenly like, let's sit down and, like, let's not only just watch Jaws, but we got to talk about it on Twitter all fucking night long.
Yeah.
And so, like right around 9 o'clock, I was like, fine, fucking, I'll throw in Jaws, and so I watched that too. But it's been a couple of years since.
Is that on the 4th of July or something?
Or... but the thing is, I forgot. Yeah, no, like the big crux of the movie is that there's a shark attack just a couple of weeks before the 4th of July, and it takes place in this like Hamptons town where it's like England island community, and they make all their money off of people coming out from New York to like spend 4th of July weekend out on the beaches, and so the whole crux of the movie is the conflict between Roy Scheider, who is the sheriff, who wants to close the beaches because he doesn't want any more people getting attacked by sharks on the 4th of July, versus the mayor, who he wants to cover the whole thing up and pretend the shark attacks didn't happen because he wants all that, he wants all that 4th of July money. And of course, people do get attacked on the 4th of July, and the movie turns into a whole other thing. But Jaws. I mean, it's not like everyone in the world's seen Jaws, so it's all right.
I'd only seen it for the first time a couple years ago. I think actually when you showed it to me. That's a good fucking movie, man.
It's a good fucking movie. Yeah, I got the Blu-ray too. It's super fucking pretty looking too.
Yeah.
Jaws, good times. 1776, good times. I fell asleep with 1776.
It's a very long movie.
Well,
Foley has never seen it.
What, Foley hasn't?
Foley has never seen 1776. That's why I went looking for it. I was like, I feel like I failed her, that we've been together like 8 years, and I've never shown her.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I do not know. Yeah. So for those of y'all who do not know, and I'm sure we talked about this past, 1776 is a musical about the signing of the Declaration of Independence, from the point of view of mostly John Adams. It is a great little musical, a lot of very clever phraseology, very compelling. It is also about 3 hours long. So, but the
Yeah.
movie version of it is really fucking good. And it stars Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World as John Adams, which is why in Boy Meets World
I have no idea
that
what
school
Boy
is
Meets World is or
known
Mr. Feeney
as
is,
John
but
Adams High. Well,
yeah.
that's my cultural context for that dude.
No, he's not. John Adams is Knight Rider. He's the voice of the car.
Oh, was he the voice of the car?
Man, which is funny because I've seen 1776 enough now that without having seen Knight Rider, whenever I see like some people be like there'll be clips of Knight Rider and some kind of like oh it's shittiest shows of the 80s compilation on YouTube or something like that. I'm like, oh man, it's 1776 is the voice of that car. It just seems extra fucking weird.
John Adams is that car. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you
also Hulling from Northern Exposure plays Was it North Carolina delegate who has this whole big crazy song about like slavery and rum?
Molasses to rum to slaves.
That's fucking great. Oh
yeah,
man,
the reason why we started talking about it is some point we started talking about turkey almost becoming the national bird of America.
Yeah.
And there's a whole song in 1776 about this. And I sang it all to Foley. She just looked at me like I was insane.
I love that because all the guys in that movie are very cute. Just the tenor of that movie is just like light and fluffy and charming.
It's a fun movie.
About slavery, which gets a little fucked up.
Well, and the "Oh Mama" song, which makes me cry every time.
Yeah.
God damn. Anyway, 1776 is good and charming if you like.
Also, for a movie that's like 50 years old, it's like it holds up. It's still kind of like a fun movie to watch. Like.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a well. Many musicals are not that.
John Adams' wife is hot as balls.
She is hot as balls. Agreed.
Any woman who can sing that well, while also smiling and being funny and cute. Oh my God, come on!
It's very difficult to come out of that movie without a crush on Abigail Adams if you did not already have a historical crush on her.
Thomas Jefferson's wife, she can lick my balls. I don't care about the violin.
All right, everybody. So, Bill, tell me about Strider Guacamole, huh?
Strider guacamole is my favorite snack.
It's what you had on your notes, my friend. I'm reading.
Well, what I do is I stride around purposefully with guacamole on my penis, and no. So,
Bill, if you make one more reference to your genitalia, I'm walking. All right.
Remember that time you burned your boob with a firework on the 4th of July?
Yes.
That was I for some reason that got me thinking about that.
Let me throw this out there. If you mention either of our private parts one more time, I'm walking, Bill.
We're talking
about Strider and Guacamole, Bill.
No, so on the PlayStation 3, so with this because this is the first week of the month, I guess both Xbox and PlayStation they both sent out their free games that you get like when you subscribe to both of their their paid services, but Xbox Gold and with the PlayStation Plus on PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 you get the Strider game, which is a remake of the old arcade game, the old Capcom game, where you're like this. For some reason, you play as a Japanese ninja who's running around futuristic Soviet Russia, just blowing up robots and just slashing them with your sword and stuff. And but yeah, that's so somebody made like a polygonal side-scrolling remake of that Strider game. Not quite a remake. It's not like a pixel perfect like remake or anything like that. But it's a spiritual sequel, and that was you could download it for free on PlayStation 4. I'm playing that's been super fun. On the Xbox, they put out Guacamelee Gold Edition, which is I guess a slightly remastered, remixed, kind of rebalanced version of. That is also a side-scrolling action game where you play an undead luchador who is fighting the forces of evil by like wrestling and body slamming skeletons and monsters and shit like that in this little Mexican town.
I saw that on PS4. I have not. I have it. I got it in some humble bundle, but I don't like playing that kind of game on PC. I'd rather just play it on a console. So
yeah, no, it's really fun. The controls are really super tight, and the graphics are really nice. The music is great because it's all like little like mariachi band music and stuff like that. And one of the best parts of Guacamelee is that there's a playable female character that's unlocked from the beginning.
Oh, and
nice. Both she and the male character have a whole bunch of crazy outfits, like different luchador outfits. They can dress like Mexican demons and shit like that, Day of the Dead stuff. And my default. My female character, her default costume is actually the dude's costume, and so she looks super extra butch and tough and badass. And
Yeah.
just great to have this game where you're playing as female luchador, just like picking up skeletons and smashing them and throwing them around, and just the game's got a really fun sense of humor. And like I said, the graphics and the sound and the music and everything are really nice too. So
Oh,
it
that
just
sounds
like
great.
I've like when I haven't been playing Valiant Hearts, I've been playing that and Strider, and it's been a good time. Which is funny because like
Nice.
aside from Valiant Hearts, which I paid for, most of the stuff I've played this week, yeah, Valiant Hearts or Guacamelee and Strider are both free games.
Mhm.
Which and free games on my two new consoles. And
Yeah.
just by virtue of the free games that I'm getting with Gold Games with Gold and PlayStation Plus, it's both consoles are starting to turn that bend where I no longer feel like there's absolutely nothing to play on either console.
Mhm.
Just by virtue of just even these free games, there's enough now to keep me. I don't have that much free time, but those free games that are now, along with the occasional games I have been buying recently, it's been more than enough to keep me busy, which is really nice. And this is just me just playing like the new next gen consoles, which is
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of nice feeling to know that there's always something new to play
Yeah.
on these consoles finally. So
Yeah.
well, and then we got the PlayStation 4 has The Last of Us remake coming out later on this month, so that'll be something not quite new to play, but I don't know.
Most importantly, next week comes out the last chapter of Wolf Among Us.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that
finally
good?
see the climax of what
What console?
happens
What are you
with my
playing that on?
boyfriend Big B.
What are you playing that on?
PS, Xbox.
Okay. Oh, the Xbox 360.
Yeah, the old Xbox.
The one no one cares about anymore.
Exactly. It's the only reason why I turn on my Xbox 360. Though I've had the urge to replay Fable 2.
Really?
I've been trying to coax my wife into playing. Well, Fable 2 is one of the ways I coerced fully into getting into gaming. And I've been really yearning some sort of narrative-based co-op experience with her.
Yeah.
And not to say that so I should give some more context to that. Fable 2 has co-op, but what it is whoever is the main character is the protagonist of the game, and then the secondary
Oh, you got that
character
helper drone, yeah.
is just like a minion. I think they call them henchmen in the game. And so you're kind of more generic looking and you have much more limited costuming options. But when Foley and I played that game together, we kind of had a meta narrative on top of it all where it was all about how my character won a bet while they were in college and got to be the hero and the other one got to be the henchman, and we had this like elaborate narrative going on, and it was a lot of fun just riffing on like this kind of having this role-playing aspect that we added on top of it, and I'm like, man, I kind of miss that.
So she saw a hammer and everything, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's man, it'd be fun to go back and play Fable 2, but just knowing how like there's no more good Fable left after that game.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like teasing yourself with like what could have been by getting
I'm
so excited
kind of
about having so much
excited.
fun with Fable 2.
I'm irrationally excited for Fable Legends in the way that I kind of get excited for all Fable games, but I know that it's a bad call. It's a bad call.
Well, just because Peter Molyneux's not attached to the game doesn't actually. I mean, he was in charge of Fable 3 and that was terrible. So who the hell knows?
Peter Molyneux was not the thing behind that game that made those games like. What Peter Molyneux brings to the table is not what made Fable fun. I'm gonna throw that out there. Fable is not about watching an acorn grow.
Speaking of couch co-op stuff, Guacamelee does have drop in, drop out couch co-op. So if you want to play as two badass, sexy female luchadors throwing shit around in a really funny side-scrolling, just like beat 'em up action game, and I think there is like easy mode and stuff on there too. If you just want to like fuck around without having to worry about. I don't know. It's good times.
I don't really. That's not the kind of game is the thing. I don't really like those sorts of games.
I would at least recommend checking out a demo just to see what you think.
I did download the demo. I'll play the demo, but the demo will be about as much from it that I'll probably want because I just don't really like it.
I think Foley might get a kick out of that game. Is all I'm saying.
Hey Bill, tell me about The Leftovers.
Leftovers is new HBO TV show by the guy who made. No, he didn't make Lost, but what's his face? The guy who ruined Prometheus.
Damon Lindelof.
I didn't say his name. You said his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damon. That poor son of a bitch. Damon Lindelof, the guy who was one of the major creative forces behind Lost. Yeah, this is his new TV show. Just started up last Sunday on HBO. It's actually pretty good. Have you heard anything about this?
No.
It's based off a book called The Leftovers, which is about out of the blue. 2% of the world's population suddenly disappears and no one knows why. A lot of people assume it's the rapture, but no one, like, there's no, the 2% of the people who get, like, suddenly disappear seems to be completely random. It's not like just like 2% of, like, the best of the world's population. It's like Gary Busey and Stephen King and Anthony Bourdain, along with, like, the Pope and all these other, like, just completely random smattering of 2% of the population. And so, at least the first episode, it's only been one episode that's come out so far. It's just entirely about people's just reactions and them just trying to survive. It's the first episode takes place, I think it's 2 or 3 years since this event has happened, and it's become like the global new version of 9/11, where everyone just talks about like on October 14th and how society has changed since October 14th. So since this 2% of the population has disappeared, and it really is just about everyone. It's kind of like the show's really about kind of like survivor guilt, and people have mentioned that on a larger meta way of looking at it, it's also just about like dealing with like sudden death of loved ones, because all these people's like loved ones have just suddenly disappeared without explanation. There's no closure. Yeah. And Lindelof has promised that the show's not going to be too much about trying to figure out what happened to these people. It really is going to be more about just about the people, the leftovers, about how they were dealing with this situation. Yeah. And so he promises like it's not going to be teased at the end of every episode, like what happened to the people. We're going to find out what happened to the people. That's not the point. It's about these people reacting and not about the source problem, which is kind of an interesting idea. So. Well,
yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, that is the most compelling part of those shows. Is like, and answering any sort of mystery is never satisfying. It's just,
and it's interesting because it kind of makes it kind of like a science fiction fantasy show without really there being any science fiction or fantasy elements. Yeah. You got this one crux of the idea that 2 people have disappeared, but it really is just about the drama of people living in this small town. And specifically, like, instead of a whole bunch of random people, the show is very specifically about this one family, where the guy, he's the sheriff in this town, and no one in his family has been taken away, but his family has just been fractured by seeing other people, their lives being destroyed by this 2% people, population disappearing. The daughter is played, she is really fucking weird. She really confused the hell out of me because she's really weird looking. She's the brunette with blue eyes, and I couldn't figure out what the hell she looked like. She looks like a baby Eva Green.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Actually, combined, if you took her and combined it with my old friend Lisa Luca, because Lisa has kind of like long hair and stuff like that. But yeah, she kind of looks like.
Oh, it's Justin Theroux.
Who's Justin Theroux?
He's a hunk. He's a long-standing hunk. He plays Kevin on that show. Sorry, I'm not talking about your girl. Justin Theroux is a long-standing hunk of note. It's got little Tyler on it. Fucking, yeah, look at all this shit. Anyway,
Doctor Who shows up too for 2 seconds. He's playing an American.
Which Doctor Who?
He plays the first one in the season that looks terrible.
Which Doctor Who, motherfucker?
The 9th Doctor. Do you know what that even means?
No!
That's what I'm saying!
Describe him! You're right, Bill. If only they had some sort of salient characteristics other than being Doctor Who and having a number.
Hey, Annie, guess what? Christopher Eccleston plays the Christopher Eccleston Doctor Who. I don't know how.
Fuck
He's the guy in the black leather jacket.
Yes! No, you can also say Christopher Eccleston. I got that.
That's
Thank you.
Saying, yeah.
Doctor Who is in it, motherfucker.
Well, it's not bad. I don't know. The first episode was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, no, Justin Theroux, I'm assuming that's the son. The son is this, he's the son of the family, and he's gone off to join some kind of crazy cult out in the desert or something like that.
He seems to be a police officer.
Really?
Justin Theroux? He's in a police uniform.
Oh, well then he's the main guy. Wait, Justin Theroux, and let me Google this. Then he's the main character, because like I said, the main character is the dad, who's a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Quiet podcast moment while we Google.
I'm saying, no, Justin Theroux is great. He was in The Baxter as the actual love interest. He was really good. He was really great in American Psycho.
Yeah, Justin Theroux. You think he's a hunk? What else is the guy? What else is he in?
He's a monster hunk. Is Justin Theroux?
Yeah, he's the main character. Then you should probably watch.
Fully. Is Justin Theroux a hunk? See, there we go. 2 lesbians think someone is a hunk.
Well, guess what? He got someone pregnant. He had a daughter that turns out looks like baby chick Evergreen. So there's like multiple reasons to you should watch this show. And his friend is crazy Christopher Eccleston, Doctor Who, religious guy who's losing his mind.
All right.
Just throwing it out there.
So speaking of shows taking a blessedly fresh take in that they're not just doing the obvious thing, like for example, not playing with a mystery just to torment you and then have an unsatisfying resolution.
Yeah.
I'm still slowly working my way through Orange is the New Black. I'm only about halfway through the new season, maybe a little more than that. But I got to the nun's backstory, and I was so delighted because most people, when they try to come up with a compelling story to tell about someone of faith, the easiest thing to do is to go to someplace lurid. It's like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, it's sex or something, or like
Yeah.
money or anything. And what I liked is that it was just kind of a very mundane story of self-absorption, and to show that like a person of faith can have just kind of normal, quote unquote, boring problems was
Yeah.
really refreshing and really remarkable, and I enjoyed it very much, very much. Man, this season of Orange is the New Black has my favorite line, I think, of any media I have ever seen, which is at one point in this season, they have the lesbians have a fuck off to see how many orgasms they can achieve on other women, and they're like all these women are ranked and everything like that. And at one point, Nikki is trying to go for this 10-pointer, and she says this line that I can't get over. She's like, I feel like Icarus, whose wings melted when he tried to fuck the sun. This may be my favorite line in media right now. Like,
Yeah, no, Nikki is she's one of my favorite characters too. She also has a line when she's talking to Piper later on too, where she says something about like how Piper's talking about how she's bummed because she thinks that like she could like pretty much die and no one would notice that she's gone, and Nikki says something
yeah.
to the fact that like like you tickle me, I would notice that you're gone. It kind of makes. Oh yeah, Nikki's one of my favorite characters, but yeah.
Orange is the New Black, this season is not as good as the first season, just in the first season had like a focus, a narrative focus, and a character focus that is
Yeah.
not sustainable. But the thing about the show is that it is phenomenal even when it's a more meandering season, just because it's about fucking normal women and normal women problems and only women. Like that, it is still my favorite thing. I would rather watch 10 bad episodes of Orange is the New Black than 10 good episodes of pretty much anything else.
My only one problem with the new season of Orange is the New Black, well, there's a structural thing too, because I think there was a cliffhanger that ended the first season that they kind of brush under the rug with this season that they never really that they never really deal with in a head-on situation. The whole thing with Pennsatucky and like the whole thing with Piper almost killing Pennsatucky, and it just kind of like.
Oh, I felt that was.
It's going to be more of a thing. Well, that's a whole other thing. But no, yeah. The only thing on a long-term basis I'm kind of worried about the show is the format that every episode has to be a flashback episode about a specific character.
Yeah.
And that it's slightly starting to run into the lost problem where the more flashbacks you have for individual characters, the more they kind of have to start making up shit to justify those flashbacks happening.
Yeah.
And there's only so much interesting shit you can mine with repeated flashbacks for his individual characters. Like, yeah, and Lost had that format where by like the third season, when you're having like each character's like third or fourth flashback, and you're kind of just like Jack eventually had a whole episode about where he got his tattoos.
Yeah.
And there's only so many episodes you can do flashbacks about an individual character and have that be an interesting thing that you're learning about that character to just justify that flashback in the first place.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of worried that like I don't know by the time they're on like Piper's like fifth flashback as to how she wound up hooking up with Alex, I'm just gonna be like, well, okay, why? Like, what? Okay, so what's the point of this? Yeah, I don't know. So
yeah, one thing in this season, they do have some flashbacks that like border on, and like the way they link to episodes borders on some like after school special stuff. But I was thinking about that. I was like, but even then, I still fucking love this show. Like, I would rather if this whole show could devolve into nothing but after school special bullshit, and I would still enjoy it because the first season was remarkable for its cleverness and everything like that. But that is ultimately not the reason why I like that show. It's just because it's a bunch of broads.
Well, also this season isn't very good because the lady they cast as the new villain is terrible.
Are you being serious? Do you not like?
She's awful.
Are you being facetious?
Yeah, no. The villain is that female cop lady. The one who's really nice. How they turned her into this season's villain. Have you gotten to that part yet? Where she's the bad guy and she just suddenly clamps down and she's like ruling the place and she's like selling cigarettes and shit.
Do you mean V? Are you
No!
conflating? I
No,
don't even understand what this joke is, Bill. I
no,
really don't.
no. V, the lady who plays V is fantastic. You know
Fucking
who her only real acting is just to sit there, like, stare at people with
Well,
half-lidded
yeah.
eyes.
Well, there's something I really there's something to be said for an understated character actor, and she's doing it.
Yeah, I like it. Like, half of her character's presence will be to be this dark, big, frizzy-haired shape that will like slowly shuffle into the background of a scene and just kind of like linger there, just be like this dark thundercloud in the
Well,
horizon.
pretty much her character is that she's a very warm, maternal character until she fucking shuts down,
Yeah,
and then
that's
she's
kind of the terrifying
terrifying.
thing about her. Yeah,
That's what's great about her. She's
and I like how they hook her into her past with her and Tasty too. Yeah, and the Tasty and Pusey thing. Oh man, Pusey is they actually they kind of Pusey gets a little too beat up in this season. Where I'm just like, man, how does Pusey not just buy a gun and just start shooting everyone?
Man, so what was really cute was I was at 7-Eleven the other day, and I don't know how. Oh, I walked. We have an intern at work. I walked the intern down to 7-Eleven and got her snack, and we were just talking. And what was really cute is that there's this intern who's like, 10 years my junior,
Yeah.
freshly graduated from college and all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. And then she and I and the clerk at 7-Eleven started excitedly talking about Orange is the New Black. And like,
that's great.
It was just like this cute moment of like these three broads from very, very different places just chatting about this.
Have you gotten to Pusey's flashback yet?
Yeah. Oh, I'm full, but thank you. Yeah, it's some good shit. That's fucking
Man, when she's dishing out that German, I was like, God damn.
Pusey's pretty sweet. Alright, friends, that's all the shit we did this week, believe it or not. We just gabbled about some things we consumed. Hopefully you consumed them too. Hopefully you had some context for them. Hopefully you didn't tune out too hard when we talked about Lego. Please join us in just a moment. We're going to talk about Geek Week in Review.
So is this going to be real break or fake break?
I need to go get some more coffee.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So 124. Okay. That's the break. Need to write that down for editing purposes.
Alright, pal. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Go crazy. 124 break. Also, oh shit, I forgot. My old note that I wrote on my hand is starting to fall off. Miyazaki face. Miyazaki face? Hasui? Yeah, apologies to anyone just I see it from our viewer count. It seems like a couple people just tuned in just right when we were just starting to take a break. Yeah, Andy's just going off to get coffee. We're gonna resume in just a second. So it looks like Jacob Dahl is chatting at us about. Yeah, sorry, Annie decided she wanted to record at 9 a.m. this morning, so I think we started recording before a lot of people, especially here on the West Coast, were actually conscious. So apologies to anybody who may have missed our first half hour of blathering, which is mostly about Lego again. Which is funny. I can't believe Annie's actually falling down the Lego well harder than I did. I mean, it's not like I have that much Lego shit, but I do have some, and I do like Lego. But it's funny that Annie's like, she's the one checking out the secondhand sites and going to secondhand stores for Lego, and I don't know, it's very cute. I'm glad she's got that. Jacob Dahl says, Divinity Original Sin on Steam is sort of like Shadowrun Returns, but this is more of a comment for Annie. Is sort of like Shadowrun Returns, but with full co-op if you're looking for something like that. To tell Annie about that in case she can't see the Q&A questions. And yeah, where's my Muppet? Oh, it's right there. I don't want to get up and have my Muppet. Wait, hold on. I'll be back in a second. I'm going to show you guys my Muppet. Oh, I can't put my headphones back on. Hello in TV land. Do you want to fuck me? I would fuck me. No. What's the Silence of the Lambs? The guy in the basement of Buffalo Bill. I would fuck me. Would you fuck me? I would fuck me. Wait, I should wait. Should I be singing this or should the puppet be singing this? Puts lotion in the basket. Puts the lotion in the basket. I love you. I love soup filled with semen. What are you looking at? I don't know. What are you looking at? Where's Annie? Is she off pooping again? Yeah, I think she's off pooping. Okay. She loves to poop all the time. She eats too much beef. I keep trying to tell her about the beef, and she keeps on eating the beef. She's always like, oh, beef, 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 beef. Beef, 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 beef. Lego, 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 Lego. Beef. You should make Annie Lego made of beef. Best of both worlds. I will make Annie Lego made of beef. Man, that does sound delicious. Maybe we can make a little log cabin made out of beef. It's a pretty good idea. I mean, you could take the beef and freeze it, and then cut it into Lego slices, and that would be yummy in my tummy. Man, I would be a terrible. I could never get a job at the Jim Henson Studio because I cannot figure out where try to get this to jive with the camera and everything like that. It's actually more complicated than you think. I love Lego beef in my belly. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I love nipples. How big are your nipples? Hey you, watching at home. Show me your nipples. I love giant tasty nipples. Nipples with gravy. You, do your nipples make gravy? I want all your nipples. Your teats. I want your nipple. Gravy nipple teats in my mouth. Whoa. Oh god, I should not be near this puppet. So how you guys doing at home? Anyone watching this? No one can see you, Bill. There is a Mac version of Divinity Original Sin. Says Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. I get to entertain. So, how are you guys doing? That's beautiful. Is it Sunday? It is Sunday. Man, it's 11 o'clock. I'm hungry as balls. I could use some gravy nipples right about now. Oh, man. My nipples made gravy. I just sit in bed all day, just... Make a game out of just, like, squirt the gravy into the air and try to catch it with my mouth. I'm gonna have to wash the sheets every other day, but what are you gonna do? So, yeah. Right, Annie? Thank God Annie's back. Hey, Annie.
Good news, Foley has killed all the Germans.
Did she beat the game?
Oh no, she's still sniping around.
Did she save the Jews?
Oh, Bill.
What happens if you shoot the Jews? I'm not suggesting she should shoot the Jews. I am a Jewish puppet. I just want to make sure she's, being careful out there.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Do you see how much I'm taking these jokes, Bill? Do you see how into them I am, Bill?
I was a part of the Israeli Sniper Brigade
cut
in
you off,
World War
buddy.
II.
Hey, dude, cut me off, but nope, that's it. Hey, let's go
I liberated
How about the Geek Week interview, huh? Did you see that while we were tweeting, they opened another Mighty Number 9 Kickstarter?
Wait, hold on. I gotta take the puppet off my hand. I can't concentrate with the puppet right next to me. Okay. We're gonna do a real comeback. Okay.
They have another Mighty Number 9 Kickstarter.
Okay. We're back.
Hey everybody, we're back. It's time for the Geek Week interview. I was
So
just
what
telling
happened?
Bill. literally while we were recording this morning, they launched a second Mighty Number 9 Kickstarter.
Wait, in the whole, because I know they were doing fundraising for like Slacker backers, so they could raise $100,000 for voice. Is it actual? It's a whole new official Kickstarter.
Here, hold on a second. I just saw the Polygon article, sort of thing.
Because it's one thing, yeah. Because I saw that. Well, it's like what I saw was not an official Kickstarter. It was just like, hey guys.
Oh,
guys,
okay. No,
if you guys want to contribute. But yeah, $100,000 for voice acting. Which, hey, like, who knows how much voice acting costs? But that doesn't seem like a game that's gonna like really benefit from voice acting very much.
Yeah.
Especially like, well, me talking about the side-scrolling games I've been playing this week. It's not like Valiant Hearts. Well, Valiant Hearts has some voice acting, but it's all
Yeah.
And it's not like Guacamelee. Oh, that's fucking weird. Well, I saw that they're also trying to turn it into a cartoon too, the Mighty Number 9, which is a little putting the cart before the horse because it's the guy who made Mega Man. It's not like Mega Man characters have ever been that interesting. Like it's just like I'm a robot made of ice.
Love them. Like people are really emotionally attached to those characters, Bill. Yeah, Bill, because you haven't spent any time or energy working on any sort of Mega Man map sort of thing or anything like that, or.
That's true. But I like it because it's a fun game. But I don't know. We'll see. So,
Dude,
are you disappointed by this? Are you upset about this request for more money?
Oh no, I just figured you'd have some commentary.
I don't have commentary. I can do what the fuck I want. I don't care. I as long as I get my free copy of the game. Well, not free copy because I paid money for the Kickstarter. But like as long as I get my copy of the game next year, I don't give a shit. But yeah, it does seem a little bit like voice acting. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Hey everybody, it's time for the Geek Week interview. We're gonna talk about some Geek Week shit. This
is not what? I thought this was a Geek Week interview.
Well, sure. Now it is officially. Doubly officially, because we're both on board. Hey, everybody, did you know that the entirety of the 60s Batman TV show is coming to Blu-ray and DVD this fall?
Yeah, I guess there's going to be more details about this at Comic-Con, which I forgot Comic-Con is a thing that happens every year still. Shouldn't that be happening like sometime this month, right? It's
very soon, my friend, yeah.
Yeah, I miss going to Comic-Con. That was always fun.
Yeah.
But, but they did announce, I think it was Batman. I don't think it was ever actually came out on DVD. I think that was one of the weird TV shows that, for some reason, due to rights reasons, never came out on DVD, much less Blu-ray. But they did announce finally the whole shebang's finally coming out. We could probably credit Jeff Parker with this entertainment victory, the success of his Batman 60s comic book. Jeff Parker and Jonathan Case, who were both very cool, talented comic book creators, who are the creators of the Batman. Was it the Batman 1966 comic book?
I think it's called Batman.
That's called.
66. Yeah,
Batman 66, which is super fucking cute. But yeah, so they ever finally come up with Batman. Not that that's a kid you. I don't think either of us are like super huge Batman 60s TV show fans or anything like that. But
I watched it in my youth.
It's fun. The Batman movie's cute. Everyone makes riffs off. They joke about can never get rid of a bomb and the shark repellent and all that stuff.
It's kind of pleasant to be able to go back to goofy superhero shit because we are so in the age of
when everything
dark
superhero and Michael Bay to death.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That'd be cool. So.
Hey everybody, did you know that Community is coming back as a Yahoo series?
Yeah, not too much more details about this, but Yahoo. I don't think Yahoo had enough money to make anything like this.
It's weird. Yahoo is one of those things that had money back in the day and still continues to have money despite not really being relevant per se.
Yeah, who the hell uses Yahoo for anything enough to even justify this?
Moms and grandmas. Really?
You want to be using? You think in the gulf between the parts of the internet that people actually use and that are actually useful and Facebook, you think Yahoo would have fallen off the face of the earth, because...
Dude, Yahoo paid $1 billion for Tumblr.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I forgot about that.
Just saying, son.
You know what? I do have to admit that Tumblr is getting pretty good, you do get those bullshit, advertising posts that'll show up in your feed sometimes, but they're pretty good with they'll have recommended posts.
Yeah. I love Tumblr.
And 9 times out of 10, at least so far, most of the recommended stuff that's sent my way, I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool, and I actually found some pretty cool Tumblr blogs as a result of that. Um,
I like Tumblr, and I think even their sponsored posts are usually reasonably like they're not offensive. They're
it's
not
not
as obnoxious as sponsored
it could
tweets.
get worse. Who knows what the hell's gonna happen? But
Well,
at least Yahoo
'cause how the
hasn't
fuck do
completely
you
destroyed.
monetize Tumblr? Like, I really don't envy anyone who is waiting for their investment checks on Tumblr and Twitter, because I'm like, how the fuck do you monetize that shit? Good luck.
But yeah, so I don't even know if like Community's coming back on Yahoo. So I guess that would suggest that it's going to be like a whole season of half-hour episodes. I guess I don't know. Hopefully it's not just like little web shorts or some bullshit like that because I don't know. I don't know if Yahoo's trying to like start their own like entertainment program or what, but
Well, nowadays it's all about having your own proprietary content that means that people come to your door. Because I'm sure that Yahoo has a streaming video service or whatever. It's the same reason why Sony spent so much of their conference talking about the Powers TV show. It's all about everyone wants to have the new orange is the new black, you know?
That's weird. With especially we're supposed to be getting that Power show by the end of the year too, which is especially weird.
Yeah.
And they haven't even casted it or anything yet. Yeah.
Show.
Sure.
Brian Fuller is helping turn American Gods into a TV show for stars.
Have you ever? Wait, I know you're not a fan of Neil Gaiman. What do you think about American Gods? What do you think?
I tried to read it, and I think I got about 5 pages in before I stopped.
It is a terrible fucking book.
I just don't like his voice very much, and I don't like
neither.
the characters he writes about.
And you're talking. I love the Sandman comic. It's not like I just like just across the board hate Neil Gaiman stuff, but yeah, American Gods. I mean, you know what? I finished American Gods, and I thought that book was stupid. I hate to say stupid because that's like really reductive. Oh, stupid.
It's not your jam.
But it's the same thing where like Neil Gaiman can't write real human beings, but he's really good at writing like abstract ideas masquerading as people. That's why that one Doctor Who episode he wrote was actually pretty good because I mean that's kind of like the Doctor. He's just kind of like this abstract god who's interacting with people. But yeah, this like the twist at the end of American Gods was just kind of ridiculous, and you could see it coming from a mile away. I don't know. I just don't think Neil Gaiman's half as clever as he seems to think that he is. But yeah, it's interesting that Brian Fuller he's not creating the entire show, but he is writing the pilot. He's not going to be the showrunner or anything like that. So I guess he can still keep on focusing all of his attention on Hannibal. But no,
I'm sure it's like the way J.J. Abrams will do a TV show and then like an episode and then book out. You know?
I mean, yeah, J.J. Abrams he wrote the pilot episode of Lost, but it pretty much had nothing to do with it afterwards. Yeah. But then everyone just kept on assuming, everyone kept on running up to J.J. Abrams for the next like 6 years afterwards, like, hey, what's next on Lost? And he's like, I wrote the pilot, and I'm sorry guys, I don't know what to tell you.
It's almost like people just make assumptions.
Yeah.
Go for it. Attach a name to it and pick on the name.
For some reason they just assume that I have sex with my Muppet. I don't know where they get that crazy idea from.
Alright, Nickelodeon is burning off 2 episodes of Korra every Friday, meaning that the 3rd season will be over in less than a month, which is great for fans, but not so great for the show's prospects.
Yeah, so have you tried to watch any of the Korra on Blu-ray I got you?
No, Bill was kind enough. Thank you, Bill. I haven't thanked you, quote-unquote, in person. Bill did get me Season 2 on Blu-ray. No, I have not had a chance.
Did you say, I can remember last week, did you mention you had actually bought that season on iTunes, you just never finished it?
We had watched the first 4 episodes on Nickelodeon, because they streamed them on Nick.com. So we had watched them at the time, and then we didn't get around to buying the season.
So yeah, at least now if you do want to catch up,
it's very kind of you. I know you will at some point.
But yeah, it's not that great. But yeah, no, this is alarming that they're burning off this whole season in less than a month. The fact that they haven't really advertised Korra that much, and the fact that they just debuted the new season without any kind of like lead up to it or anything like that really does seem like they're trying to shove the show under the carpet right now, which is really fucking weird because it's got to be a pretty expensive show to produce.
You could make the counter argument that we live in the age of shotgunning television, where it's like this is an age where people don't want to wait a year for an entire season, or they'll just wait for the DVDs or whatever, the Blu-rays, and the sooner you can make it one palatable nugget, the better.
But you think they would still like advertising, when Netflix drops Orange is the New Black or House of Cards, they still advertise the fuck out of it everywhere. But like
perhaps, Bill, they're advertising not to mid-30s Bill Mudrin.
No, if you check out, if you go like the Korra subreddit on Reddit or anything like that, like everyone's saying like there's no advertising for this, it's not just my thing, but I've actually looked at the community and everyone's like, really concerned about this because there is no hype for this season at all. And yeah, Nickelodeon seems to be just kind of sending it out to die this year, which is kind of a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, like just from judging from the again, like they didn't when the show came back, they did not just drop one episode, but they dropped 3 episodes all at once. And those 3 episodes are actually pretty good, and really kind of suggest that the show might be actually going to an interesting place, like a much more interesting place than the second season did.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, who knows if that's actually going to happen, but I don't know.
Oh, Cora.
It's good. But I still get, as long as, man, all you really need is that Cora, the Korasami Tumblr blog that I just sent a link to.
Rentable Lego sets. What? What is this?
Click that link,
Hold on.
motherfucker.
I'm clicking it. What?
You tell me about it.
Ah.
So what's the service called?
It's called Play, Pley.
Yeah. So it is a thing where I don't know if it's subscription based or what, but yeah, you can. They will mail you used Lego sets that you could build at home, disassemble them, and then mail them back. And you could lose up to 15 pieces before they start charging you for missing pieces. And they promise that they sanitize the shit out of all the parts. So if whoever rented the whatever Lego kit before you, if they had the cooties, you could pretty much you'd hope that you don't get the cooties too. But I just love the idea of rentable Lego sets.
And actually, the prices aren't that bad. It's $15 a month, $25 a month, $49 a month, which is expensive. I'm going to say that out loud. But Lego sets are fucking expensive.
The first 2 things I looked for, the Monster Hunter Mansion and the French Parisian restaurant, they weren't available though, so I was kind of bummed.
Aw, Beal.
But I'm just saying, and also if you're looking for very specific pieces, you could rent a kit or 2 and then lose the pieces and send them back. So,
and I like that they're like if you like it, you can buy it at a discounted rate, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, which is
I mean, you've pretty much
that's still going on with the old Netflix, rental model too.
You've double paid for it at that point, but still, yeah.
But I'm kind of surprised you hadn't heard about that. If I had heard about it, I'm kind of surprised you didn't.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Gone Home is now available in a retail fake Super Nintendo box.
What's up with that?
This is really cute. So yeah, there is now a physical copy of Gone Home available. The box is a faux Nintendo box. It comes with like all sorts of cute shit. It comes with a poster of their the zine that they put together. And it's a cute little package.
The most important part of this thing to me, more than even the Super Nintendo box, is who is the person who created like the artwork. Like, who created the Trapper Keeper artwork in that game?
Oh,
was that,
they had a whole bunch of... They had a whole bunch of people that they commissioned to make little assets like that.
Oh, really? So. Because whoever created... So what happens when you open up the Super Nintendo box, you get a DVD case inside, and the DVD case, the artwork of the DVD case is the Trapper Keeper from the game, which is the most totally... It's fucking perfect recreation. Yeah. It's of, like, 80s, like, mid to late 80s.
Yeah,
like,
that kind of Lisa Frank looking shit.
Like, giraffe, like, surfing, and it's like a koala bear playing a piano, and it's fucking hilarious.
It's good shit.
Yeah, on the inside, you get like Gone Home stickers and stuff. Yeah, I really do like the poster, which is the cover of the zine that Katie and Lonnie work on too.
It's really cute as hell.
It's $30, which is a little steep maybe for a game that you've already paid for, but all this the collectible stuff. Well, actually, not even that aside, but the designer's journal that you get, which is like a little notebook with, I guess.
I think $30 is pretty rad for.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's bad. Well, once you shipping and stuff like that, but whatever. I'll always commenting about Gone Home price.
Bill. You just Bill's back.
Is it all just Steve Gaynors? Is the only person who's contributed to the designer notes? Because I want some Carla notes in there too.
I haven't looked at it yet, my friend.
We gotta interview Carla on the podcast sometime.
We gotta have those kids on at some point. Get some scoops on the new game, huh?
Has Gaynor announced what he's working on next?
No, they've not talked about it yet.
No, okay.
Maybe some people know.
Is there a Gone Home Lego set?
Oh man!
That's what I said. Build a house, yeah.
That would be actually really rad to do.
Oh man, you can like a little GoPro camera and like have it go through the house and be like just like the game.
A supposed system error caused the demo for EA's FIFA 14 to come with a $4.99 price tag on Xbox One.
Man, technically it's FIFA. I only point that out because people overseas are gonna rip our balls off if we call it FIFA and no one says anything about it. But yeah, I wonder about this because that's such a specific low price. Well, I mean, if not $5 isn't low, but it's this is something I could see EA kind of testing the waters with.
Hmm.
Especially like now that Microsoft has gotten really lax with demos and stuff on the Xbox One, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like EA could have come to Microsoft. I don't know. This sounds really tinfoil hat, but like, I don't know, it seems like it's such a specific system error to be like, whoops, we almost charged you for the $5 for this incredibly popular demo. I don't know.
I wouldn't object to being charged for. I wouldn't object to paying a small price for a demo if then that price was taken off the cost of the.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a way to make that work, but yeah. I don't know. But I would. Part of me, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if this could have been EA potentially. I mean, granted, it's Microsoft who sets the prices for this stuff. It's not like EA can like force Microsoft to pretend this is a system error. But this didn't happen on the PlayStation 4 either. This is just very specific to the Xbox One marketplace. But still a little, it's a little fishy. And it's really, I mean, there's also Microsoft and EA they've fucked up enough. It's really assumed that they might be doing something fucked up, but who knows? But it's still. It's still a little skin crawly, but yeah.
This was my favorite news from this week. Fox News ripped off the BioShock Infinite logo for a Defending the Homeland graphic. Y'all need to Google this if you have not. It's amazing. So yeah, Fox News
I always wonder if it's a joke by someone in the graphics department who
I would not be surprised.
Because specifically for a segment called Defending the Homeland, which sounds like such a BioShock Infinite thing.
Yeah. So they tell me someone got fired because of
that. That's a little too perfect to be a mistake, yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It's
highly recommend.
Terrible too. It's a terrible knockoff.
Well, I'm just saying, when you're asked to bang out a graphic, tomorrow.
It's like clip art for the senior home production of Peter Pan.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Anyway.
Somehow, I admit I was one of the people who was tricked by this whole experience. Somehow the internet got tricked into thinking that Tina Fey is making Hocus Pocus 2.
How does that happen? I tried to figure that out. And even the internet reported this all over the place, but they refused to tell me where this came from.
Yeah. Yeah, so it really, all it is that I can totally see it. It's like, Tina Fey's making a ghost movie. Wow, that's kind of like Hocus Pocus. Holy shit, what if she made Hocus Pocus? And then in the internet baby telephone.
Who would you cast in a Hocus Pocus sequel, assuming it wasn't just the original cast?
See, that's the thing. You'd have to get Bette Midler at the very least.
Yeah.
And you'd have to, I would, but though I did find out because Max, who's the protagonist of Hocus Pocus, was the protagonist of Erie, Indiana. He is now a hairdresser in Israel.
I guess it's going to be a new hero then for Annie's Hocus Pocus sequel.
See, because
what happened to the cat?
Binks?
Yeah.
Binks is voiced by, I can't remember his name now. He is a long-standing voiceover actor, and he was also in Indiana as Dash X.
Did Billy Bones or whatever his name is play the dude's dad too?
That is totally what's his butt. Billy Bones from Hocus Pocus is Doug Jones.
Oh, that's right. Wait, isn't Billy Bones? Did I remember that correctly?
I think I remember his name is Billy.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was like Slaughterhouse Billy or something like that. Billy won't kill you. I've only seen the Hocus Pocus once, and that's because Annie made me watch it at her house, and it was fucking hilarious.
It's a fun, dumb movie. I forgot how obsessed that movie is with virgins. They talk about the fact that Max is a virgin at least 18 times.
And also, Ferris Bueller's wife is weirdly attractive in that movie too. I can't explain it. Usually, not usually the goth chicks either too. But she's actually pretty cute. Is all
fucking Hocus. Well, see, the thing is that it's just that they're my generation of women who really loved Hocus Pocus and were leaned on that shit and Tina Fey's our favorite woman. So
it's like it almost feels like it's the I don't even say the Goonies for girls. I don't know why girls like that movie so much more than boys because it's kind of gender neutral. Aside from the you got the witches that are ladies, but it's not like it's so.
I was gonna say it's because there's a strong female quotient in that movie.
But it's kind of the Goonies in that it's this perfect kids action adventure movie atmosphere where it's kind of like the perfect Halloween. They live in this perfect Halloweeny New England town. It's got this ancient legends about stuff, and it's kind of creepy enough, but it's still family safe enough and doesn't feel legitimately threatening. But it's still woo. It is. I don't know. Yeah.
I would want in my modern day recasting of Hocus Pocus, I would want it to be Tina Fey,
Amy
Poehler, and Chelsea Peretti, or Jenny Slate. Come on, Chelsea Peretti would be fantastic.
Okay, but Melissa McCarthy would also
Melissa McCarthy would be great. Yeah. I would want Mindy Kaling to be the principal of the school. I'm just saying.
And what happens if Orange is the New Black, third season, everyone turns into witches? And that's
Hocus Pocus fanfiction. There we go.
It's Hocus Pocus 3. It just jumps. It just jumps Hocus Pocus 2 to go straight to Hocus Pocus 3.
So let's say the three witches would be Chelsea Peretti, Melissa McCarthy. Who would you have be the third woman?
Is Chelsea Peretti is that the what's her face from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah, she plays.
Oh man, that'd be fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Tina Fey to be the principal or the mom.
Yeah, I wouldn't want her to be the witch.
Yeah.
And Amy Poehler
needs to be the bus driver.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who.
Blue dude. She needs to show up.
Rachel Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be down for Rachel Trash being in it.
Oh, Rachel Trash, she was so good in Down with Love.
I'm gonna have to come back to y'all on who would be my third witch in Hocus Pocus 2.
Would Sandra Bullock not be the good mom in his Hocus Pocus 2?
No, because it's Tina Fey.
Okay. It's just
I want it to be Tina Fey is best friends with president of the school, who is played by Amy Poehler. Mindy Kaling is librarian who knows all about the witches and shit. I'd want Emma Stone to be in it. Emma Stone could be the third witch.
Would she be the sexy witch?
Bill, aren't we all?
And by sexy witch, she
The
just
sexy
lip
witch.
syncs and dances while just wearing a witch hat, and that's it.
That's all it takes.
Quote unquote sexy witch.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we were all goofed. It's just a movie with the witches in it.
Man, we need to have our own special. We need to have people on the podcast this Halloween and have our own Hocus Pocus 2 fan fiction script writing, script breaking session.
I hope, if nothing else, that Disney of all this is fuck, we gotta make a Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah.
It will be terrible.
Who would you get to make Hocus Pocus 2?
I'm trying to think. Edgar Wright isn't doing anything these days, so give it to Edgar Wright. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway. Potato salad. Bill then includes a link. Oh, is this...
Click the link.
I missed all this. There was a Kickstarter for potato salad.
So Kickstarter has laxed its rules on what can or can't be a Kickstarter these days. And so I didn't find out about this until just last night when I was just fleshing out the show notes for the week. But explain what the potato salad Kickstarter is. You know as much about it as I do now.
I love that. Yeah. So this guy has 26 days to go. He's raised $4,360 of his $10 goal.
$10 goal.
His stretch goal at $3,000 was, my kitchen is too small. I will rent out a party hall and invite the whole internet to the potato salad party. Only $10 and above will be allowed in the kitchen. The internet loves potato salad. Let's show them that potato salad loves the internet.
Well, the original goal was hey, I want to make potato salad. I just need $10 to make potato salad. And then, now he's made $4,000.
Wow.
Which, that's pretty fucking hilarious. I don't care if this guy is trying to scam people. I don't care who he is, but this is funny enough. You can only make this joke once with Kickstarter, and he made it.
I don't know. You can call. How exactly would it be a scam? Would he not make the potato salad? Would that be what the scam would be? Really?
But is he really gonna run out a hall and make $4,000 worth of? Oh man, the kitchen. The renting a party hall, that was a stretch goal that didn't even exist last night. And he's gonna have to set up a $10,000 stretch goal for this potato. And I love that the name of the Kickstarter is just potato salad. Yeah.
It is what it says in the tin. God
And
bless.
all the only details is I'm making a potato salad. Basically, I'm just making potato salad. I haven't decided which kind yet, and that is all the details.
It's beautiful.
And then it just goes into the stretch goals. Yeah. What types of ingredients are appropriate? Oh, this is his fact.
Foley's actually very sweet. She is talking about doing some sort of Indiegogo campaign to try and raise money for Angel, the dog around the corner who broke her tendons.
Oh yeah.
Doing some sort of fundraiser for her so they can fix her tendons.
Can we raise money to buy a bullet to put in her head? Because that's what they would do if this were really the Wild Wild West. I'm just saying the dog's name is Angel. Or give her like a peg leg.
Hey, conveniently, this is the end of the fucking podcast because I officially am done with Bill Mundren for the day. Hey everybody, we're at Boy Howdy Podcast on Twitter. BoyHowdyPodcast.com is our website. Howdy@BoyHowdyPodcast.com is the way you can contact us. You can rate us on iTunes if you're so inclined. Hey, as an aside, all of y'all non-iTunes using listeners, I have been trying to do some more research about how to make our podcast friendlier to the non-iTunes inclined. I, as a Android user now, am cut from the iTunes teat, and it made me realize that I have no idea about where to put our podcast
I
and
didn't
make
think
it
about that,
accessible to folks beyond that system. So if you have any suggestions on what sort of databases we can add our podcast to, please let us know. I'd appreciate your feedback.
There's no like iTunes app or anything like that for Android phones.
Oh fuck no, Bill! It's
Well,
all
I mean,
about.
you can still use you can use iTunes with Windows computers.
Yeah, no, technically yes, but it's tied to their iPhone ecosystem. It makes sense from a expanding your market sort of perspective, but not from a we have a gated experience.
Yeah, so Google has never established any kind of like music podcast like environment like that.
They have their Play Store, which is essentially like the iTunes store.
Yeah, they don't have anything like set up like that for like podcast or anything, huh?
Not that I can see. I'm still struggling to figure out what is the best podcast app for my Android. I'm using Dogcatcher right now, which I like just fine. But
that's okay. Well, yeah, we'll have to think about that in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever we can do to make our podcast more accessible beyond just having it on iTunes and having an RSS feed, please let us know, and we'd appreciate it.
Unless we just start broadcasting with ham radios.
There we go. Exactly.
Why limit ourselves to the internet? We can go full analog with this.
Just tin can phones, my friend. All right, pals. We will talk to y'all next week about more Legos statistically. See you then, pals.
Take care. So much Lego talk.
Yeah, you got it. Next time we go to Bricks and Minifigs, Bill, we'll have to bring you along because it's.
I might take you up on that. Well, that's the thing, man. Yeah, fucking. Oh, yeah, no. Like, I literally spent all of the rest of the day when I wasn't editing the podcast, just like fawning over all the Lego kits that you'd chosen for your wish list.
Yeah.
And then just looking up the instruction manuals for them. Oh, I meant to talk about this on the podcast too. I found out on YouTube there's a whole subculture of people who review Lego kits. Not just like, oh, I bought a Lego kit, it's nice, but like people who will show like stop motion, time accelerated buildings of kits.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one, actually the best video I found for the Monster House Mansion kit was, they actually, it's like a 10-minute video of brick by brick just building the whole mansion, so you get to see what like the process is like and get to see how complicated it is. It's really nice. It's a preview of building the, and there's no talking or anything at all. It really is just completely silent. Just like, okay, well, here's the minifigures you get. We're gonna do a little 360 revolution around each figure just to show you in intimate detail what each figure looks like, what the printing of the secondary face on the back of their head looks like, and then you're just gonna show like how the whole house is built and everything like that. And it was very, very cool.
That's pretty rad. Yeah. I gotta say, I am so. I regret when I went to the Lego store that I didn't just get a couple of containers of random pieces in various colors, because I need a lot of browns and a lot of grays and a lot of like darker grays and all these little pieces and shit.
What was the pricing like?
It was pretty good, all things said. You could get a large bag for $8, like a little bucket for 10, and I think
it wasn't by weight, it was just by container or something.
Yeah, they had all these containers that you could fill, and
that's for Lego. That's not bad.
No, I mean honestly, I've been doing a lot of research on buying Lego online and shit, and that's really the best way to go. Guardian Games has pretty much the same setup right now. Like they have
Okay.
the same thing where they have just a bunch of parts and you get it in a bag, and they have a minifig thing. It's just that Bricks and Minifigs just had so much shit. It was really
Yeah, the sheer variety, just because of the dedicated store, I could see that being mind-blowing. Well, and this is the other one last thing I want to mention about the Lego stuff. So at the end of this one video, I'll have to send you a link to this, the channel on YouTube. At the end of this video where they're showing you how to, like, you know, what it's like to build this mansion, is at the end, oh, here's what it looks like with our custom lighting setup. That they like lit the whole mansion from the inside out. And it turns out the people who made this video, they sell custom Lego lighting kits.
awesome.
And I was like, oh, that would kill me, because I love like any kind of like miniature model stuff that lights up.
Yeah, it makes sense, son, with LED technology. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I could
And so-
rig a basic LED light stuff for my. I gotta make a saloon, man. This saloon is gonna kill me. There's this. I talked about this. I told you about this before, but there's one eBay guy who's selling instructions on how to make this giant, awesome saloon that's kind of like the saloon from Deadwood.
Yeah.
And it includes a list of all the parts that you need. And now that I have the ability to go out and get those parts pretty
Yeah.
easily,
You have access to bulk parts. How
that's
much are
gonna
the
be
instructions?
officially me going tumbling down head first to the rabbit hole. That, and at this rate, I'm totally gonna go to the BrickCon up in Seattle in October. It's
How much are the instructions for the saloon?
like $25. It's a little more than I want to spend on something that.
You know, if it were
intangible.
$20 even, that would sound a little more palatable. But 25, yeah, that's a little.
There's just
Come on,
something
guys.
about it. Here, let me see. I was actually gonna see it because especially because it's a PDF. Not to diminish the effort that took or anything like
No,
that.
but
It's just like
$25 for PDF of anything is a little.
like
You
I would.
fucking
Yeah.
book that took you 3 years to write. That's a little.
Oh, here's a saloon that's $5.
Is it from the same guy?
No. Huh. All right. Pardon me as I now just ignore you entirely, and
It would make sense that our conversation about Legos devolves into just online Lego hunting.
that just means this isn't as good. This is not as compelling. Though the
So
interior.
the original guy with the 25 Lego PDF or $25 Lego PDF. That's like a multi-tiered saloon, like the
Yeah.
stories and shit like that, like a chandelier or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Bill, thank you as always for being such a good host. I am sending you. I'm converting the MP3 right now. I'll send it off to you. Sorry we didn't wind up. I really did want to come by and just shoot the shit with you, but we woke up this morning. We were both like. Meh.
Yeah. What are you guys doing for the rest of the day?
We have friends coming over to watch the end of Clone I was going to say Clone Club of Orphan Black. Oh man, I wanted to talk about Orphan Black. But
Aren't there kids in that show now, or some shit, or some stuff?
Kids?
I don't know. Maybe that's spoilers.
yeah, well, I know I accidentally got spoiled by fucking looking at your goddamn
Entertainment Weekly. How you doing? You gonna get it?
There's always been a kid, and then recently with this introduction of this cult, there are some young people in the cult.
Annie, instead of spending $25 on that Lego PDF, you could spend $20 and get an Entertainment Weekly subscription. This week they sent me a full color poster of who's the chick from Edge of Tomorrow?
Emily Blunt. Wait, did they get you the Emily Blunt poster?
Yeah, along with it's her and Kate Blanchett hanging out in suits at like Cannes or whatever.
What?
Oh
what
wait,
color-
no. Are you fucking with me?
What?
Along with that Asian lady. You've seen the photos, right?
I've seen the photos. Did you get a poster of it?
Yeah, they for some reason they're much. We like you so much. We sent you this full color picture of these ladies dressed like super dapper dudes.
See, and I'm like, there's sometimes when you fuck with me, and I don't even really know what the joke is.
There's
Really.
no joke.
And I'm just like, what? I don't even understand. I know I'm being fucked with, but I can't tell with what to what end.
They sent me the Ava Green 300 Rise of an Empire body pillow.
Bill, I'll talk to you next week, friend.
I'm
Maybe.
just saying. Oh, okay, I'm just saying. Emily Blunt and Kate Blanchett hanging out in suits. Pretty good
Ain't
idea.
nothing wrong about that, my friend. Yes, Tumblr showed that to us. Fully excitedly shared that with me.
I still haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow too. I just want to. Cause I like.
good.
Yeah, I know. I want to make a double feature of that and Snowpiercer.
Man, that would be good. I need to go see Snowpiercer.
They're showing both of them. I think Snowpiercer is at the Hollywood, but they're showing that with Edge of Tomorrow out at like the fucking Vancouver something movie theater. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I should try to let you guys go do stuff.
All right, pal. I will send you my MP3.
Okay, Merry Christmas.
Bye, Bill.
Bye. See you, Foley.
Bill says bye.